So, hello there everyone, Happy New Year to you all. I hope everyone has a great 2024 and it's our first live commentary of Bradford Park Avenue in 2024 and it's none other than a local derby, a local West Yorkshire derby between Bradford Park Avenue and Guiseley. It is myself, Samuel Rice, joined by Arthur Difford. Northern Premier League encounter between the two West Yorkshire rivals. And last time, Arthur, we did this game all the way back in August at Guiseley. It was a thriller. 4 goals, 4 red cards, 2 each for both teams. An absolute thriller. The form book has changed for both teams since then, but this is obviously a massive game for both teams, undoubtedly.
Yeah, huge game for both teams. Good afternoon, Sam. Good afternoon, everyone at home. Happy New Year. Yeah, Park Avenue looking to get that first win under new head coach Danny Whitaker. Be interested to see what today's West Yorkshire derby brings. Hopefully, it's as fiery as the last one.
Well, you mentioned the form book's changed since, so have both managers actually have changed since the last time these two teams faced each other. Of course, Danny Whitaker, as Arthur rightly points out, still looking for his first win as Bradford Park Avenue manager. There'll be no better time to get it than today. First game of 2024, of course. Park Avenue still looking to move out of the relegation zone, of course, still down there at the moment in the bottom 4. So their aim, of course, will be to get some wins and pull away from that. And also, as well, Guiseley, they're only 2 points off the playoffs at the moment, so they've got ambitions of their own this season, of course. But obviously, I mentioned of the signings, of course. We've got some signings, Arthur, who are playing today. So both teams have wasted absolutely no time in the January window.
No, definitely not. We see Ethan Vaughan come in. He was announced this morning, as well as Justin Iwobi on loan from Halifax Town. Ethan is in the starting lineup for Park Avenue today with Justin on the bench. And Eddie Mayoko obviously joined just last week. He is involved in the starting 11 as well for Park Avenue.
Yeah, injuries, of course, as well. Certainly been a worry for Park Avenue at the moment. A few players ruled out, of course. Will Longbottom, Harrison Hopper, both unavailable for this game, and some long-term injuries as both teams are making their way out onto the field, of course. Again, last time the two sides met was, of course, and also mentioned there was 4 goals that day and 2 red cards for each team. But, I mean, players to watch for Guiseley, you've got to look at Gabriel Johnson, of course. We've spoken about him before kick-off, Arthur, before we went on there, sorry. And he's been in fine form this season. Gabriel Johnson, of course, 13 league goals. So he's going to be a player Park Avenue certainly have to have their eyes on today.
Yeah, 13 league goals, 18 goals in all competitions for Johnson this season. I remember at the reverse fixture over at Nethermore, it was his influence, in fact, when they were down to 10 men that brought Guiseley back into the game. He's been a big part player for them this season. It'd be interesting to see how the back line of Park Avenue try to contain him and, of course, the big centre-forward, Tom Denton, leading the line for them as well.
Of course, Tom Denton also started that game at Nethermore Park back in August. Well, was subbed off quite early in the game, though. And of course, I will give you the team news as well, as both players are exchanging handshakes as well. So for Bradford Park Avenue, it is Tom Scott in goal, Lucas Dunstan, Lewis Hay, Ted Lavelle, Jack Whiting, Will Lancaster, Ethan Vaughan, Connor Shanks, Chinedu Wasadibe, Jordan Preston, Eddie Mayoko in the starting 11. The bench, Mason O'Marley, Reward Mwakona, Justin Iwobi, of course, he could make his debut today, Brad Doherty and Miles Laversteed. As for Guiseley, it's Oliver Battersby in goal, Ollie Brown, Reese Kendall, Prince Polo, Aidan Walker, Josh Ashman, Kofi Moore, Liam Tong, Tom Denton, Gabriel Johnson, Abimbola Obasoto also making his Guiseley debut. He signed earlier on today as well. Callum Murphy, Lee Whelan, Callum Chippendale, Tom Pratt and Sincere Hall on the bench. And we mentioned about Bradford Park Avenue's new manager. We'll speak briefly on Guiseley's as well. Andy Welsh did actually play at Sunderland in the Premier League back in the 2005-06 season. He managed Bury 115 occasions between July 2020 and September 2023. 115 games, 73 wins, 25 draws, 17 losses. And his record at Guiseley so far is played 12, won 6, drew 2 and lost 4. So we are still awaiting kick-off in a moment. Guiseley playing in their rather purple kit, maybe it might be.
Nice colour. Nice colour.
And the referee today, just confirmed, is Jacob Graham, and he's flanked by assistants Daniel McKee and Stephen Brown. So that is the full rundown of this game, about to kick off in a minute's time, as we are just awaiting both teams, and we're waiting both teams to kick off. But this is going to be some game, though, Arthur. It's got to be said, an exciting one ahead on this New Year's Day in West Yorkshire.
Yeah, definitely. It's a cold one out there. I'm glad we're inside with this heater on us, so it's a cold one. But it's a nice day. It's been nice. I think it's the first day that's not rained in what seems about a month or two, as Guiseley will get us kicked off in just a moment's time. Guiseley in that purple kit, Park Avenue in the classic white and green, shooting from right to left this afternoon. Park Avenue, good turnout from both sets of fans this afternoon at the Horsefall as referee Jacob Graham gets ready to get us underway. It will be Kofi Moore from the centre spot as the referee just counts. Make sure that there's 11 players on the pitch for either side. Keeper, are you ready?
Eventually, we'll get underway. There is acknowledging to both goalkeepers. We are about to kick off. And now we do. The referee blows the whistle. And Jacob Graham has made sure we do get underway. And it's Guiseley who play an early ball forward. Denton's always going to win them headers in the air. So, I mean, we mentioned, of course, about Park Avenue's last couple of games haven't quite gone to plan. But, I mean, obviously, for Park Avenue, it is just a case as an early ball goes through. Actually, the flag does go up, though, and a little bit of hope early on there. After the first 20 seconds, we had a little bit of hope, Park Avenue. But the flag does go up in the end, I believe. It was against Connor Shanks. But a nice opportunity on Park Avenue. And as mentioned, what do Park Avenue maybe have to do in the early stages of this game?
Well, I don't mind that. From that initial 20 seconds, obviously, you can't take too much from it. But, guys, they were playing a reasonably high line there. And I think it was Eddie Mayoko that managed to get in behind there. Unfortunately, the linesman did put his flag up. But interesting to see that Mayoko currently leading the line alongside Osadibe and Preston. 3 lads that, of course, can play as a number 9. Hopefully, it'll be good to see them find the back of the net today.
Yeah, as Hay, a ball forward by the goalkeeper Battersby. Hay puts it back to Scott, and Scott puts his foot through it, and Osadibe goes to control it. Bounces off him, though, and it falls to Prince Polo, who can run forward now, and he goes to the left-hand side. Guiseley coming forward for the first time in the game. It's across from the left, is it? It's deep. It's not going to go out of play, though, for a goal kick. But Guiseley, they're just showing what they're about slightly. I mean, again, we've only played around about 75 seconds, so you can't take much from 75 seconds of a game. But, I mean, both teams look eager to come forward. It is, of course, Derby Day. Both teams will want to maybe get a big victory. Both teams, different ends of the table, trying to get the results. So, you've got to say, both teams will certainly bring their A game in this one. As the ball goes forward towards Preston, that's going to be well headed away, though, by Josh Ashman. That's going to go out. It's going to stay in fact. And Ashman then plays it forward. And Denton goes to chest it down to Gabriel Johnson. And the ball is worked out to the left. Well in, though, from a Dunson. Osadibe goes for it. He's beaten in the air. Maybe wrestled to the floor. And now Guiseley do have possession back. I mean, Guiseley's away form has been good recently. They've won 3 in a row in all competitions away from home. Their last defeat came at the end of November away to Macclesfield. But they did lose on Boxing Day at home to Marsk. So, again, we mentioned... you can't read too much into the form book on Derby Day, Arthur, but I mean, Park Avenue, they win the ball back here, but eventually Guiseley do get it away again, and the ball's worked to the left, actually, and Guiseley might have an attack, so I'll bring Arthur in a moment. The ball's on the left-hand side. This could be danger up against the Dunstan. Ball goes in. It's at the back post. Oh, and it's very, very close. Nearly went in, actually. And it very nearly goes 1-0. It was a chance at the back post, just trying to see who it was for. It was across from the left-hand side. It was the number 7, Kofi Moore, who stolen at the back post. I believe Lewis Hay just about did enough to get there, but that was an early chance, though, for Guiseley, 2.5 minutes in.
Yeah, great run down the left-hand side for Guiseley there from new signing Obasotto. He really beat his man, beat Dunstan, who's got the armband on today for Park Avenue. Put a fantastic ball right across the face of goal towards that back stick. Kofi Moore was there first, but could do nothing but find the side netting now as the ball goes back to the man in goal for Guiseley, Oliver Battersby, as he plays a long ball forward, now looking for Moore again, but it's well won by Jack Whiting, who wins himself a foul halfway into his own half.
Yeah, I mentioned Hay it was who might have got the crucial touch. It might have been Jack Whiting at the far post who got the crucial touch, but it was a ball. I'm not sure if it came off a Park Avenue player last, but it was a real opportunity, though, for Kofi Moore. Very promising as well there from Abimbola Obasoto, the new Guiseley signing, as he went down the left-hand side, but... in the end, it came to nothing as Hay has it now. Goes through to Osadibe. That's well cut out, though, from the Guiseley defender. And now the ball is with Moore. That's all a strong challenge in the end. But it's a fair one, though, from Ted Lavelle. He did timed it pretty well. It was maybe one of them that looked like it could have been a bit worse than it was. But in the end, he got enough on the ball. And it will be a throw-in. Going to be taken by the number 2, Ollie Brown, for Guiseley. And we've only played 4 minutes, but the game's been played at a very good pace at the moment, Arthur, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't mind seeing that from Teddy Lavelle in the middle of midfield. They're obviously on loan from Halifax Town, as well as goalkeeper Tom Scott, but, just committed to that challenge there. Knew he was going to get to that ball. He didn't quite get there first, but he did win the ball and put the ball out of the throw-in. And on Derby Day, it's stuff like that counts. You've got to make sure that you get into those challenges and really get stuck in.
So we'll go to get there. Well won in the air, though, by Whiting, and the clearance will be completed. And the number 8, which is Shanks, plays it forward. Osadibe tried to get there, but a touch from Polo actually takes it through to Josh Ashman, and he'll play it back to his goalkeeper, Oliver Battersby. And he plays it forward, and Denton again is the target, and Hay does well to win that header. Undoubtedly, Denton's going to be the target for every long ball as Gabriel Johnson lays one off. He's eventually lost out, though. It's Polo who went to play the ball, and he missed it, and it's Lancaster, the number 6, and ball's back with the Dunstan. And a Dunstan then goes back to the number 5, Jack Whiting. And Whiting has the ball now. And he's looking for options at the moment, the number 5. He's not really got too much in front of him. He goes over the top, though, towards Hay. That's not a bad ball. Hay goes to get there. The ball's headed back. It's not completely dealt with. Hay's in. Oh, he just missed it. Oh, that was a bit of a mix-up between Ollie Brown and Oliver Battersby, actually. The number 2 heads it back to his goalkeeper. The ball doesn't have enough legs on it. Lewis Hay never gives it up, in fairness to him. It's a little bit of a tight angle, admittedly. He smashes it across the face of goal, but the ball just goes wide. That is a let-off for Ollie Brown there, who did not get the ball back to his goalkeeper, and that's a chance for Park Avenue.
Well, interesting. In the last game for Guiseley, they conceded a goal through a Battersby mistake, and it was nearly another one there. Fantastic work from Hay, who's come from the left-back position. But now Guiseley go forward as the new signing, Obasoto, receives the ball. Johnson driving.
Here's Johnson on the ball now. He goes to the right-hand side. This could be a chance for Polo. It's not the best delivery, though. It's well defended, and now Park Avenue can maybe break. It's a chance maybe for Shanks to bring it forward. He does. He finds Preston. Preston on the left-hand side does well. Good hold-up play from him, but it's a poor touch in the middle of the park, and now this could be a chance to come forward for Denton. Denton finds Johnson. Johnson goes to the left-hand side to Obasoto. And now he can maybe play one into the back post. He does. It's going to go. Oh, it actually nearly found the... So the goalkeeper, actually, Scott, had to get something on that. It wasn't the most convincing cross in the world, but Tom Scott didn't quite know what to do with it, did he? It was maybe looping into his top corner, so he had to get something on it and concede a corner.
Yeah, cross come shot there from Obasoto. He looks dangerous in these early stages. Obviously, just trying to loop one over towards Big Tom Denton at the back stick. But yeah, like you say, I think that was dipping in that far top right corner as Guiseley will take a corner.
Reminds me a little bit of a goal Harry Colville scored at Blythe earlier this season, maybe. A bit of a cross-come shot. The cross does come in, and the goalkeeper, Scott, gets something on it. The ball falls, though, to Obasoto. Again, this could be a chance for him to cross. It is to the back post, and a Dunstan gets something on it. It'll be another corner for Guiseley, and all of a sudden, it's Guiseley who are in the ascendancy here. But Park Avenue defend that one well enough, but Tom Scott just had to come and get 2 fists on it there and didn't. It's been taken quickly, the corner as well. It's going to be a left foot. Oh, that's a bit of a waste in the end, though, from Reece Kendall, because it was a good position for Kendall. He could have maybe shot low and gone through the bodies. He went high, and it's unconvincingly out for a goal kick. But Guiseley, a good minute and a half spell for them there.
Yeah, he didn't quite just get that one right, did Kendall there, but Park Avenue won't mind that. Just a chance to just reset there. To defend him quite well there. It's quite compact, quite a lot of bodies in that box. They're certainly not a small team, this Guiseley side, and it's fair to say that Park Avenue aren't the biggest side in terms of height as a new ball has been thrown onto the pitch. That's how poor that Kendall ball into the box was. I know we've got 2 balls on the pitch now, so.
Yes, so the ball eventually did come back. I'm not sure the Guiseley fans wanted to quite give it back to Park Avenue there, but eventually Tom Scott will get the ball, and he's just going to put it in his 6-yard box and eventually play it out. And he does play it out to Jack Whiting. We're nearly 8 minutes in, and 8 minutes absolutely flown by so far at the Horsefall Stadium. Bradford, Park Avenue 0, Guiseley 0 on this New Year's Day Derby day. As the ball forward has been put back to his own goalkeeper from Kendall. Gets a little bit on that, and Battersby, with it backpedaling, does clear the ball away. And Denton, who's going to get a bouncing ball, he flicks it on, and he's looking for Obasoto, but that's good defending from Park Avenue, and that's really good play by Ted Lavelle in the middle of the park. Really good place he's found. A Dunstan on the right-hand side, he can maybe cross one in, and it's going to find Osadibe. It comes back off Osadibe, but it then will be cleared away by Josh Ashman, and the ball forward up towards the number 7, Kofi Moore, and Moore takes it in. That's been put out of play from Hay, but good play there, wasn't it? It was Ted Lavelle in the middle of the park, really silky feet, plays it to the right-hand side. The cross did find Osadibe, but it kind of comes off him. I don't think he was quite expecting it, and the chance kind of went away. But 8.5 minutes in, Arthur, it's been a very game played at a very good pace, and the game is flying by as Lewis Hay commits a foul there, but I do think he's going to escape a yellow card.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the shape of Park Avenue when they're off the ball. I think it's something that we've not quite seen a lot of this season. It almost looks like a 5 at the back. Three centre-halves of a Dunstan, Lancaster and Whiting. New signing Ethan Vaughan, number 7 today, over at right wing-back, it seems like. And Lewis Hay, of course, fantastic all year round. Played a multitude of positions. We've seen him play here, there and everywhere. He's at left wing-back today. That's off the ball. Interesting to see what it's like when we are going forward, which we haven't seen too much of yet in these first 10 minutes as Guiseley prepare to swing in a ball from this right-hand side.
Yeah, Reece Kendall it will be with his left foot, and he does go into the middle. It's not the best delivery. It will be headed away by Park Avenue. Polo then plays a good ball to the right-hand side. It's controlled with the face of Reece Kendall. Eventually goes to get a cross or a shot away. In the end, it was blocked either way from Jack Whiting, but in the end, I think Kendall took control that with his chest. It was a little bit higher than anticipated, and he ended up taking it to the face. But Kendall has stayed on the right-hand side for now because he's actually going to take this throw-in for Guiseley. and he launches it towards the penalty area. It's not a bad one. Denton goes to get there. It comes off, well, it came off Denton last, according to the referee and the linesman. That will be a goal kick. I think both sets of players were appealing for it, but in the end, it's Park Avenue's decision, sorry. So it's a goal kick, 10 minutes in. It's still 0-0, and it's a very entertaining game so far, played at a very good pace, Arthur, in this Northern Premier League game in the West Yorkshire Derby, Park Avenue v Guiseley.
Yeah, definitely. We'd just like to see a bit more of Connor Shanks and Ted Lavelle on the ball if we can get that up to them. At the moment, it's a bit of head tennis in the middle of the park, and unfortunately, Guiseley seem to be the ones that always come out with the ball as Connor Shanks potentially lose it again there, but does well to put in a challenge, and Whiting clears long, looking for Osadibe, and a little mix-up between the back line of Guiseley meant that they will eventually cannon the ball out off Jordan Preston for a Guiseley throw-in.
Yeah, Aidan Walker it was who just got back there. A bit of a mix-up between one of his centre-back partners, actually, Josh Ashman, but eventually they do get the throw-in, Guiseley. Just over 10 minutes played, still 0-0. Not many clear-cut chances in the game yet, but certainly a game that's been played at a good pace as Denton goes a turn away from Whiting, but that one's going to be played out by Lancaster, and that will be a throw-in to Guiseley right in front of the away dugout. Will be taken by Ollie Brown, who's just looking for his options at the moment. And again, Park Avenue had that good chance earlier on with Lewis Hay. That was the big one in the game, really, so far, as the ball is played up in the air by Ted Lavelle. And that one's, though, going to be headed by Liam Tong. And the ball is in the left-hand side now. A lively debut so far for Abimbola Obasoto on the left-hand side. Whenever he has had the ball, he certainly looked like he's going to do something with it. As the ball is now with Aidan Walker, and he gets it back from Prince Ekpolo. Osadibe goes to put in a challenge, and Preston nearly cuts one out, but it will find Kofi Moore, though, and this could be a chance for Guiseley. The ball's on the right-hand side. This could be a chance to play one into the middle. It is. It's to the back post. Denton gets his head to it. It will then fall to Obasoto, and the ball's played in by Kendall. That's going to be headed away, and the ball nearly fell there, and Osadibe can control the ball upfield, actually, but he's crowded out by two Guiseley players, and they can get the ball forward again. And Park Avenue just can't get out at the moment. The ball's on the left-hand side. It is with Obasoto. Can he get a ball into the middle? He goes back instead to Tong, and Tong plays on forward towards Denton. That's going to be headed away by Whiting, and that's going to be controlled very well in the middle of the park by the number 8, Connor Shanks. And just got to get the ball out at the moment, Park Avenue, as Dunstan goes to play one forward, and it eventually goes out for a throw-in, and Park Avenue can breathe ever so slightly for now.
Yeah, they're pressing on the front foot quite clearly, guys. There, Park Avenue are not really with much time to breathe, not time to take many touches. And, you know, I mentioned that defensive shape 5 at the back. That, of course, means that there's one less player in the midfield for Park Avenue receiving the ball, and that's showing at the moment. Just lack of options when it does come to Lavelle or Shanks in the middle.
Yeah, absolutely. The ball's going to be... Oh, it's played back in Preston. Could have a chance here. A bit of a loose back pass. Preston into the area. He's forced out wide for now, though. In fact, I think the Guiseley defender's done quite well on that occasion.
How's he giving it that way?
He's given a throw towards Guiseley, actually.
Preston, no, referee's overturned it.
The referee has overruled him. I mean, the linesman standing right in front of it. So I don't know how he's managed to miss that and be overruled by his... referee, but the linesman was standing right next to the two players.
One thing I did clock about that linesman when he was warming up is he's got one of the most peculiar haircuts I've ever seen on a linesman.
Oh, that's fair play. I haven't seen it yet. So, he's at the far end of the field, so unfortunately I can't comment on that right now as the ball's thrown into the penalty area. That will be headed away, though, by Tong, and the clearance is going to be completed only as far as a Dunstan. That one hits the referee, actually, and, well, we'll speak about the lines in one moment, the referee the next. The officials are getting involved at the moment in the game.
Don't want to see officials getting involved in the game too much there, but nothing that Jacob Graham, the man in the middle, could do there when that ball was cannoned at him from 3 yards away.
No, absolutely not, as Hay does now find a Dunstan, and the ball is back with Whiting, and he can play one forward. It's not a bad ball over the top towards Lewis Hay, and it might bounce well for him, actually. Hay couldn't quite get the shot away. Does put one up in the air, though. Not a bad ball. It's Osadibe. Osadibe on the volley. Can he get it? No, he can't. It's blocked. Hay with a shot. It's then blocked again. No. And this is danger now because Kofi Moore's in space and he can come forward. And this could be real danger. The number 7 for Guiseley is quick. He's got options with him. Kofi Moore. Good. And Kofi Moore, does he get to the rebound? No, he doesn't. That's good play. Eventually, I thought Moore lost it for a moment there, but there was a touch from a Park Avenue defender, which allowed Moore to run through. Good covering defending in the end. I believe that was I believe it might well have actually been by Lavelle. It might have been coming back to make the final challenge in front of his goalkeeper, Tom Scott. Well, that was promising going forward for Guiseley.
Yeah, definitely, and that's one thing with playing these wing-backs is Lewis Hayes getting really high. He was the highest person up the field for Park Avenue there as the ball comes in for Guiseley. Kofi Moore going up for the header, but it's well won by Hay, and it goes out wide now to Ollie Brown. Swing the ball back into the area, looking for Denton. They're wrestling each other, and Johnson ends up getting highest and nodding the ball, just rolling out for a goal kick. But they're putting plenty of balls in the box from this right-hand side, aren't they, Sam?
I think Denton might have been better positioned for that one. I think if anything, Johnson getting his head to it actually was not the best option, because he rose for it, didn't he, in the end, and in the end took it off his partner, I think, in the end, because Denton, he had the obviously he's always got the head start in terms of height, so he was in pole position there, but in the end he couldn't quite get his head. He didn't get his head to it. It was his colleague Johnson, and in the end it was well wide as the ball goes forward to Park Avenue this time, but eventually Battersby does play it forward, and as I think Arthur Ratley mentioned, the right-hand side of Guiseley has really been kind to them so far in this game. It's been when they've had all the attacks down this side, albeit on the left-hand side. Obasoto's looked lively when he has had the ball, so Guiseley utilising their wingers in this game so far. I think Moore and Obasoto have been very involved in the game. So I think that's been a position that Guiseley have certainly maybe targeted, but Park Avenue have defended well so far, in fairness to them, though. They're doing their defensive duties well, as a throw-in is going to come in from Ollie Brown. It was him who put the cross in a moment ago. And it's up towards Denton, and again, he's got players all over him. And when this ball might fall to Johnson, and just about, Johnston does well there, actually, because I thought he lost it for a moment to Johnson. And there's Scott with an unconvincing clearance. Very unconvincing clearance, actually. It falls to Tong. He plays it in towards Denton. He heads it down, and that one's going to be eventually cleared away. This time by Lancaster. Osadibe can't control it. He's beaten in the air. And right now, Guiseley are having a good spell of possession, Arthur.
Yeah, definitely. You'd say that they've comfortably had more of the ball in the first 16 minutes of this game, as they now look to switch the ball from left to right. Kofi Moore trying to win that header. And like I mentioned before, Ollie Brown will take a throw in. But this wing-back system means that Park Avenue are committing bodies high, especially Lewis Hay on this left-hand side, which is leaving Kofi Moore. And we've seen him have electric pace down this right-hand side. He can get in behind when Lewis Hay commits really high, and that's causing quite a few issues for Park Avenue now, as another free kick will be lofted into the area from Reece Kendall, just in front of the Park Avenue dugouts here.
Yeah, Reece Kendall's delivering hasn't really been at his best so far. The left footer, he's certainly capable of a good delivery, and he puts that one into the area. It's Denton who goes for it. Denton was in an offside position, though. You could see that a mile off. He was in an offside position, but Denton's obviously always the target. But you've got to say, good line from Park Avenue there, maybe, to make sure he is offside, Denton. But got to say, Denton's a real threat in the air, of course. But I think Park Avenue have coped pretty well with his aerial duels so far. Not just his aerial duels, but also winning the second balls when he does get his head to it, Denton. And that's something that they undoubtedly have worked on, Park Avenue, because they know Denton is a massive threat. It's from nodding the ball down, of course, and getting his head to it. And obviously you've also got Gabriel Johnson, who's a man in fine form this season.
Yeah, I was out at pitch side when the teams were warming up, and I was noticing that Danny Whittaker, I'll just break from this as a moment, as Park Avenue looked to go forward, but they won't. Yes, Danny Whittaker was warming up with the back line, purposefully knowing when to come and head the ball, when to come and receive it. But now Johnson drives into the Park Avenue half for Guiseley and goes out wide to new signing Obasoto.
Yeah, Obasoto on the ball now. He brings it inside on that right foot. He goes out to Johnson. This could be an opportunity. Johnson goes to play one, and really, really good challenge there, though. And that will be a corner. It was good defending from a Park Avenue man. I believe it was Will Lancaster who got back there. And it was a very well-timed challenge to put it out. No, in fact, my apologies. We've got Ted Lavelle, who seems to be working very hard in this game so far. Lavelle got back in a good position, made the challenge on Johnson. Not really had his most effective game so far, Gabriel Johnson, but a man who scored so many goals. The corner comes in. The header goes in.
Save.
That's the really good save by the goalkeeper. It was headed by Reece Kendall, I believe, at the back post. He's been the one crossing the ball in most of the game on this occasion. He got his head to it, and that's a good save from Tom Scott to tip it wide. But there'll be another bite of the cherry for Guiseley. That's the closest we've come so far. And it's a good save from Scott. Another ball comes into the middle. It's Kendall who goes for it again. This time he doesn't get his head to it. And now the Park Avenue can actually break as the ball goes down the line to Hay. And Hay goes to go beyond this man. Well played, Kofi Moore there, though, putting the ball out of play immediately. Well, I'm not sure if that was one for the cameras or not from Tom Scott, but that looks a brilliant save. I mean, the header comes in quite close range from Kendall. Scott gets his head to it and tips it over. That's a very good save.
Yeah, definitely. I think great header from Guiseley just on the edge of the 6-yard box. And like you say, one for the cameras slightly, but as long as he makes that save from short distance, it's fantastic to keep it at 0-0 here after 19 minutes at the Horsefall.
Absolutely, nearly 20 minutes in, as I've said, it is still 0-0 on Derby Day so far. Bradford Park Avenue 0, Guiseley 0. As the ball goes forward towards Lewis Hay, and it's a little bit of an awkward one for Brown. And Battersby is in a bit of discomfort. He just about came to the edge of his area, realised he couldn't pick the ball up, and took it down on his thigh, and then eventually cleared it away. But it looked in no man's land for a moment there, Oliver Battersby, didn't he? He looked a little bit like, oh, I can't pick the ball up, so a little bit of pressure on the goalkeeper, and he has had moments in the game, Battersby, hasn't he, that maybe Park Avenue can take a little bit of encouragement from.
Yeah, they're just looking to try and get in behind here with Lewis Hay, like I mentioned, trying to get in behind right back. Ollie Brown obviously did get sent off in the reverse fixture earlier in the season, but they're trying to almost catch the keeper, see if he comes, see if Ollie Brown won't quite commit to going as far forward as he can. But that's been the early signs for going forward for Park Avenue here as Johnson capitalises off the tall head of Denton.
Yeah, Johnson, ball down the left. Obasoto now on the left-hand side up against his man. Nice trickery from him. He still has the ball, Obasoto. The ball's out of play, though. That will be a throw-in as it was whipped in towards Johnson and Denton, as has been the theme in the game so far for Guiseley. It's almost if compared to Park Avenue, I really think they've worked on what Guiseley are going to do in this game. They're noticing Guiseley's game is to cross the ball into Denton and Johnson, and that's where they've had a lot of joy at times this season. I mean, the numbers don't lie. Gabriel Johnson, a lot of goals scored, but Park Avenue, though, for me, they're defending that quite well in this game. They're noticing the flick-ons are going to be there. Obviously, playing the back three is kind of helping as well. So credit to Park Avenue for the way they've kind of set up this game defensively. I think they've read what Guiseley are going to do, and so far it's working, but we're only 20 minutes in, so a long time to play yet. As a good header comes in there, firm header from a Dunstan, that will be a throw-in. But I mean, I mentioned about defensively though, Arthur, we want to see more from Park Avenue going forward, because they've had their moments in the game. Lewis Hay had that opportunity early on, couple of moments for Osadibe. Just want to see a bit more from Park Avenue going forward.
Yeah, there's a little bit more quality, just a couple more passes, see if we can get in behind, down the wing. Yet to see much from Preston and Mayoko in this game. But just touching on what you were on defensively there, that Park Avenue are doing really well to win those headers, or at least, challenge them, to meaning that Guiseley don't quite often get there first with Denton and Johnson. But what they do need to be careful of is that second ball. If Denton does win it down and nods it down to a Kofi Moore, an Obasoto, or a Johnson, they've got to be on it and be prepared for that.
Yeah, Mayoko, good hold-up play from him there. Ball's on the left-hand side now with Whiting, and Whiting finds Lewis Hay. Hay into Mayoko, and he goes down. That's no foul given, actually, on Prince Ekpolo, and this could be an opportunity for Guiseley. It's with Johnson now. There is opportunities coming forward. Hits Kendall on the ball. He goes for goal from distance. Oh, what a strike! It's 1-0 to the visitors, and that is a very good strike from Rhys Kendall. He didn't score a few moments ago with his head. He's hit that one like an arrow, and it's nestled into the net. 23 minutes in, around about halfway through the first half. It is Bradford, Park Avenue, nil, Guiseley 1, and Rhys Kendall, he's been a bit of a goal threat, the left-back in this game. He's hit that one like an arrow. It's a very good strike. It's 1-0 to the visitors, Arthur, and you've got to say, you can't really complain about a goal like that. It's a very good strike.
Yeah, without trying to be a bit partridge, that is a foot-like traction engine. He's hit that so sweet. It must have moved in the air, because I think Tom Scott may be a little bit disappointed with that one. Didn't look like it was going in particular either corner. It was quite a nice savable height. But I think that with the way he hit it, I think he must have done a lot of swivelling and moving around in the air. 1-0 to Guiseley here, halfway into the first half, and work to do.
Work to do for sure. I mentioned about I praised Park Avenue defensively in the game so far, and after all that, the goal comes from a long-range speculative effort. It is Bradford Park Avenue 0, Guiseley 1 at the Horsefall Stadium, 23 minutes in. Rhys Kendall with the goal, a ball over the top, and they might be looking for more. Obasoto's on the ball now, over from Tong. This could be danger again. Good defending from a Dunstan, very good defending actually. And then the ball's played forward, and eventually a Dunstan. I think he may have taken one there. I think there's a bit of an injury here to Obasoto, maybe holding his face, and surely it was unintentional if a Dunstan did catch him. But either way, it's going to be a throw into Park Avenue, and I'd say Arthur, Park Avenue now, they've got to pick themselves up. I mentioned a moment ago, I want to see more from them going forward. We definitely need to see more of them going forward, because they're 1-0 down.
Yeah, definitely. There's been a bit of a hit and run almost style of like balls forward from Lewis Hay, Ted Lavelle, just looking to go forward for Osadibe. But unfortunately, they've got a big back line, guys. They're doing really well to deal with it now as Park Avenue just go from right to left as Whiting receives the ball at the left centre half position. He will look to go forward again. Look, trying to play a long ball there, and it's just not coming off for Park Avenue in these early stages of the first half as Guiseley regain the ball and will just play the ball around themselves.
Yeah, one player who I think might be disappointed with his role in the goal was Eddie Mayoko. He was the man who thought he was fouled in the middle of the park, of course. The referee didn't give it. They broke forward, Guiseley, and scored as Mayoko on the ball now, though. And this could be an opportunity for him. He goes to the left-hand side. It's a poor ball, though, from the number 11. It was out to Connor Shanks, and it's out of play, straight out of play for a throw-in. And Guiseley can regroup, and as Arthur mentioned, they've got a tall back line, Guiseley do, so I think that's maybe helping them in this game at times. And Yeah, right now, Guiseley 1-0 in front, 25 minutes in. Reece Kendall's goal, the difference between the two teams. As a throw-in goes forward, it's Denton who wins it in the air. Whiting goes to get there. That's going to be one, though. Gabriel Johnson, but well covered, though, from a Dunstan. And a Dunstan got a little bit of pressure on him at the moment. He's got to be a bit careful at the moment. He eventually going to clear it away. No, he's lost it, actually, because Gabriel... And he's fouled Gabriel Johnson as well. A Dunstan had the ball for a long time there and eventually was caught off it. A couple of Guiseley players crowding him out, and then he fouls Gabriel Johnson. Well, and I must say that if you are the Guiseley manager, Andy Welsh, you'll be delighted with the work of Gabriel Johnson there, never giving that up and eventually winning a foul for his team.
Well, he's just full of energy, always looking to create things, picks up that ball always in behind Tom Denton in that sort of false 10, false 9 position, even. And he causes a lot of trouble going forward. Won himself and his team a foul there that will be put into the box almost from a corner position from Captain Tong.
Yeah, Liam Tong, it's going to be whipped in. It's header that comes in. It's a couple of guys, players may have got each other's way, actually, there. It is going to be back to Tong again, who gets another bite of the cherry. That one, though, is going to be headed away by Osadibe. And a little bit of pressure on Moore from Preston there, but it's going to be headed up in the air. Denson wins it inevitably. It's flicked onto the left-hand side from Johnson. It is going to be on the left. That's Kendall who plays it in. Not a bad ball. That one's going to be headed away by Lancaster. Johnson then completes the clearance. Lewis Hay tries to get rid of it. He does. And this is an opportunity now for Mayoko to come forward. This could be a chance for him. He stretches them long legs, and he's not got many options, though. It's a nice back heel. And this brings his man to play. It Shanks. It's a good challenge. It's a throw-in. Good break forward there, though, from Park Avenue. Best we've seen from them going forward for a little while. But in the end, Guiseley do manage to defend it. Mayoko with some good hold-up play. Brought Shanks into play, but it's controlled by a Dunstan. He was one of the 4 players sent off earlier on in the season in the reverse fixture. The ball is back with Whiting just inside the centre circle. Inside his own half, but he does play the ball forward to Ted Lavelle. And Lavelle, the ball's received back for Dunstan. It's with Whiting now, though. And the ball is with Lavelle again. And Guiseley in a good defensive shape at the moment. Park Avenue just looking for options. They may need a little bit of magic to get back in this game at the moment. But so far, it's been Guiseley's game on Derby Day at the Horsefall. They lead 1-0, the visitors. The ball is with Lancaster. He's looking for options. He finds a Dunstan playing quite high up the field in that wing-back role. And Park Avenue with a good spell of possession for now, though. And the ball is with the number 8. It's going to be cleared away. There was Shanks with it. He loses out, actually. And Gabriel Johnson finds Prince Ekpolo. Ekpolo then plays it forward. This could be an opportunity. It's Denton, actually, who just goes back in the end. I thought they might try and play it forward. Guiseley have the ball back now, though, Arthur. And again, they had a good spell of possession, Park Avenue, but never really looked like doing anything with it.
Well, all of a sudden, everything got a little bit brighter there, Sam, didn't it? Halfway through your sentence there, the floodlights came on. Yeah, Guiseley just trying to be patient with the ball there as Lancaster nods a long ball forward back to his goalkeeper, Tom Scott. But defensively, Guiseley have set up really well, usually setting up in a strong bank of 5 at the back line. But looking for a long ball now, Lancaster plays forward, and it's potentially a little bit of a mistake from Ashman there, but does really well to recover and goes long, looking for Abasoto down that left-hand side, well controlled by Lancaster.
Very well controlled by Lancaster. Taking a ball out the air is never easy, and he did that really well there and plays it back to his goalkeeper, Tom Scott. And again, chances in this game haven't really been too regular, admittedly, but it has been a game that's been played at a very good pace so far. It is Bradford Park Avenue 0, Guiseley 1, as a ball goes to the left-hand side towards Lewis Hay. Well controlled by the number 3. He loses out there to Kofi Moore, but he does win a throw-in. And Danny Whittaker eager for his team to get on with it as a ball played forward by Kofi Moore. He's going to run on to his own pass forward, actually. It's Lancaster under a little bit of pressure, goes back to his goalkeeper, Tom Scott, who then plays it out as well. And he goes to play the ball out. Denton gets there, but the ball's played off Denton, and the big man concedes a throw-in off Whiting. Nearly half an hour in. This Guiseley's game, so the referee seems to be quite strict in this game of where players are taking throw-ins from. Have you noticed that, Arthur? He's really trying to be accurate where the throw-in needs to be taken from.
Well, as long as it's the same for both sides, I don't really mind, Sam. But Park Avenue just struggling to link a few passes together and really get into the Guiseley half, especially good head-on from Mayoko, but Preston can't win the second ball. Now Tong will shift it out to the goal scorer, Kendall, driving once more into that Park Avenue half, but he shouldn't be able to score from here, Sam.
Yeah, Kendall goes to play one foot. It's a poor ball, though. It's actually intercepted by Park Avenue, but then Park Avenue just about get there with Lavelle. Lavelle over the top. It's looking for Osadibe, well headed away by Ashman, who tracked that ball over the top really well. And the ball's in the middle of the pot. That's surely going to be a foul. No, it's actually going to be an advantage played by the referee as the ball is out with Obasoto. Eventually, though, Guiseley do still have the ball again. It's with Liam Tong. And Tong plays to the right-hand side to Ollie Brown. Ollie Brown now comes forward, goes out to Kofi Moore. Kofi Moore back to Ollie Brown again. Nice play down that right-hand side. The ball's back with Moore. A ball's going to come into the middle. It's not a bad delivery. That's well defended in the end, though, by Lancaster, and it will be a corner. Whiting fails to prevent the corner. But that right-hand side, as you mentioned, has been a real problem in this game. Crosses are constantly coming in. And to be fair, Park Avenue have largely dealt with them really well. But eventually they get one right, Guiseley. It's going to cause more problems.
Yeah, credit definitely has to go to Guiseley. Sam, they're playing the ball out really efficiently, I'd say, through the midfield. They go from left to right, right to left, getting involved with Kofi Moore and Obasoto and really allowing them to press onto those wing-backs and get the ball in as the corner comes in. And Scott, well, he didn't look too convincing there, but that's because I think the ball had already left play.
Well, it's a bit of a heart-in-mouth moment, I thought there. The way the ball just dropped. I thought it landed in the net for a split second.
I think I'd have gone home at that point.
But in the end, it did land on the roof of the net, and Scott did have it covered all the way, in fairness. Not the best delivery from Reece Kendall, and despite the fact Kendall scored a very good goal in this game, I don't think his set-piece deliveries have been quite on the money so far from the left-back, but a ball over the top towards Preston, well controlled by Jordan Preston, the number 10. He takes the ball down, and now Park Avenue just play it backwards, though, for the time being. Just a spell of possession will do them for now, as the ball is with Whiting, and it's going to be with the number 8, Shanks. Whiting, though, goes back to number 4, Lavelle. And Park Avenue just happy to have the ball for the time being. Are they going to do anything with it, though, from a forward point of view? It's forward towards Lewis Hay on the end of that one. Can he get there? He can get there. He's been a threat in the game so far. Hay does keep the ball alive, but in the end, though, his cross doesn't really go into anyone. It's Ekpolo picks the ball up, and Kofi Moore can run forward. In fact, he's going to hold the ball up well, and it's Gabriel Johnson now. He's got runners to his left. It's a good ball as well. It's into Tong. Good play from a Dunstan tracking back there, though. Tong never quite looked convincing with the ball at his feet there. It's given away, though, from a Dunstan as well, and Kendall can bring it forward. Obasoto on the left-hand side. Obasoto up against the Dunstan. He's got it on the left. He's got trickery with it. He eventually goes to play it in, does he? He's still not for now. He does play it back eventually, though, to Tong. Tong going to get a shot away the left foot as he does. It's not the most convincing. It nearly turns into a pass for Gabriel Johnson as well, but Park Avenue can clear it. And it's Ekpolo who goes to control it. Prince Ekpolo does really well to shrug Shanks off the ball. It's a really good spell for Guiseley all of a sudden as Kendall plays one in. That's going to be controlled by a Dunstan, and a Dunstan can play it forward. It's Osadibe to control it. And now this could be a chance to come forward for Mayoko. And now it's a ball's played back, so that's a really good ball, actually. Mayoko on the right-hand side. Could this be something for Park Avenue going forward? No, it won't. Kendall gets back and puts it out for a throw-in. Better, though, from Park Avenue coming forward there, Mayoko. Good bit of skill in the end, though. Guiseley clear, but Park Avenue for now have the ball at the right end of the field. Yeah,
good bit of play from the debutant there, Ethan Vaughan, on that right-hand side, playing right wing-back as he throws all the way back to Captain of Dunstan. He was linking up with Mayoko, and that's what we want to see. Just a few little 1-2s down the wing, try and get at those fullbacks and try and get into that area. We've not really seen Park Avenue get into the area since Lewis Hay in that first minute, as Lewis Hay earns himself a foul 10 yards in to the Guiseley half. And this is all right. This is a chance potentially to get the ball into the box, but with a lack of height that Park Avenue have and the amount of height that Guiseley have, it might not always be the easiest, as Lewis Hay just stays on his haunches, feeling that one. I think Kofi Moore sort of just landed on top of him.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of a bizarre foul from Kofi Moore, really. Hey, he wasn't really going anywhere, had his back to goal. He's about 45 yards from goal, but in the end, the referee did give the free kick, and they've taken it short, Park Avenue. The ball does go long, and it's going to be headed, is it? No, it's going to be flicked away from Kendall. It was Kendall and Vaughan who were competing. I feel like I barely mentioned Ethan Vaughan in this game so far. He's not quite, admittedly, did only sign earlier today, so should maybe cut him a bit of slack there, but he's not really had the impact on the game maybe he'd have wanted, but there's still plenty of time to go. Ball into the middle, and that's going to be caught, though, by Battersby. It was a ball in by Mayoko, who's looking for Chininu Osadibe, but he wasn't quite on the end of it, and the goalkeeper always looked favourite for that one.
Yeah, definitely. But good ball in from Mayoko, and that's what you want to see. You just want to see balls into the box, potentially chances created, as Osadibe does well to press right back Ollie Brown there and win the throw-in. But I mentioned it a few minutes ago, the guys, they're playing really well from right to left. All it takes is Brown or Moore on this right-hand side to beat one man And then they've got runners in the midfield with Johnson and Captain Tong. And just the runners are relentless with Guiseley. 2 or 3 balls in the right-hand side at the halfway line to left-hand side in the Park Avenue box. And that's how effective they have been going forward in this half.
Yeah, absolutely. As the ball's with Battersby, who goes out to his centre-back, Ashman. And Ashman is just going to tuck the ball back and just go back to his goalkeeper, Battersby, trying to slow the play down. We nearly played 35 minutes at the Horsfall Stadium. It's Bradford Park Avenue 0, Guiseley 1, goal from Reece Kendall in the 23rd minute as the ball's going to be flicked on. It's going to be controlled by Lancaster. Got his back to the corner right now. He doesn't win the throw-in either. It's actually well played. And in the end, the ball in, though, by Obasoto. Wasn't quite there. I don't think Gabriel Johnson was quite on the same wavelength. And he tried to do the classic there, Lancaster. Play the ball off your man, win a goal kick. It didn't quite work. And then, obviously, they got the ball in, Obasoto. But in the end, though, good defending from Park Avenue. But Gabriel Johnson wasn't quite switched on.
No, Park Avenue have defended well. You know, they're 1-0 down at the moment, 35 minutes into the game as Kendall will launch a long throw into the box, certainly looking for Tom Denton, but it won't reach him. Dunstan reaches it first, and now Lewis Hay with a chance to just boot the ball all the way downfield. Rugby league style, that, wasn't it?
It was rugby league style, and Battersby again came quite a long way. He actually turns into a really good pass from Battersby in the end. Not sure he meant it, but he came out of his goal there just outside his penalty area, put his foot through the ball to clear it away. And that's Dunstan might have played himself into a bit of trouble, and he's actually conceded a corner at Dunstan. He tried to play the ball off his man not once but twice, and it actually went wrong from there, the right back, and they've given away a very cheap corner there, Bradford Park Avenue. And if Guiseley score from this, they'll be very disappointed, Park Avenue. But again, that's kind of been the game so far. Guiseley really look like a team who've got a plan, know the way they're playing, and it's been difficult for Park Avenue to really get out in the game so far on a consistent basis anyway, as the ball's going to be whipped in by Tong. It's not a great one. Osadibe gets his head to it, and Hay clears it away, and it's now Jordan Preston who goes out to Lewis Hay. There's options right and left. He goes to his right. I see there's only option to his right, in fairness. Battersby came out on that occasion, did really well, and he gets the ball away. There was a runner, though, and it's well controlled by Lancaster, not for the first time in the game. Brings the ball out the air very well, Lancaster there. But that was on there. That attack was on there for Park Avenue, Arthur, wasn't it? It was a chance. Hay, not a bad ball from Hay. Too much on it. And to be fair to Battersby, it was a good goalkeeping starting position.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Guiseley have gone forward quite a lot in the majority of this half, a fair few more times than Park Avenue, but it shows that if you win the ball off them and try and get on that front foot straight away, try and go down the wings perhaps, Mayoko, Lewis Hay, get Shanks involved through the middle of the park, it shows that when Park Avenue can get that, there's potentially chances created. Just unfortunately, Lewis Hay's ball there just ran away from Connor Shanks and through to Battersby.
Absolutely did, and that was an opportunity, and just given away again, though, the ball, and Kendall wins it back over the top now. This could be an opportunity for more, but that's good goalkeeping on that occasion from Tom Scott. And now Lewis Hay receives the ball on the left-hand side. He's looking for options, Lewis Hay. They've got a lot of bodies back, Guiseley, at the moment. He's just inside the Guiseley half for now. He does find Shanks, and that one's going to be a throw-in in favour of Bradford Park Avenue, as much as the Guiseley bench did protest in their favour, as the ball is back with Whiting, the number 5, and he goes back to Lancaster. And Jack Whiting with his left foot ball and top towards Preston. That's not a bad ball. It's going to be cleared away, and Hay will let that one run for a throw-in. He's not going to go long. He's going to take it short. Again, they don't really have the height advantage in the game, Park Avenue, so going long might not be the best idea. Jordan Preston controls, but eventually the ball comes back off Preston, off the challenge of Moore, and that will be a throw-in. And as you say, Arthur, just going forward for Park Avenue, it just doesn't really feel like they're really creating enough at the moment. That can obviously change in the game, but they need to start creating a bit more, Park Avenue, because right now for the Guiseley defence, it feels a bit too easy.
Yeah, I just don't think that it's been troubled as much as it should have been. Are we going to catch the ball, Tom?
Ekpolo gets some. That nearly bounces up to us, actually. It's not far away from us, was it, Arthur?
No,
and
I nearly headed that.
It was a clearance from Ekpolo, high in the air, and in the end it goes out for a throw. But Park Avenue have got us back underway now, though, and it's a Dunstan on the ball, and he goes back to Lancaster. Had a fine game so far, Lancaster, for me, at the back, as have most of the Park Avenue defence and troop, as the ball goes over the top. It's not the best header from Moore, and it's going to be controlled by Hay, and Hay with a nice bit of skill as well. And eventually, though, the ball does go out of play for a throw-in. You've got to say, though, with Hay, he's working very hard on that left-hand side, and if anything is going to come, I do think it's going to be the quality of Lewis Hay that might well provide it.
Yeah, definitely. I've been impressed with him all year round. Played, left back, left mid, right mid, and central midfield. Playing left wing back today, and he's up and down, and energy levels are fantastic. Obviously missed out on the Radcliffe game, wasn't in the squad, I think, due to fitness reasons, but he looks fantastic today. One thing I did notice, though, was around 5 minutes ago, head coach Danny Whitaker did send Mason O'Malley down to warm up in the stage. It's interesting to see what will happen after half-time. We are just 6 minutes away of regular time from the half-time whistle. Obviously, there might be a little bit added as Guiseley get us underway now with Johnson linking up with Tong in the middle of the park. And like I said, they're driving bodies forward. Tong back into Johnson. Johnson in the box. Shot!
Oh, it's at the crossbar. That's so close. And I say that might actually been a save, actually. The corner's been given. If it was a save, it must have been a very good one from the goalkeeper, Tom Scott. But he drives forward there. It was Tong and Johnson linking up really well. And eventually the shot comes in. Johnson's not had his sharpest game so far. That was a good effort. The ball cannons off the crossbar, goes out for a corner. I imagine that's either taken a deflection or that's a save from the goalkeeper, Tom Scott. Either way, Park Avenue have got away with one there.
Yeah, that's just what Johnson can do there. Little touch out onto his left-hand foot, and he hit it very well. Just on the edge of the area, just entering it, and hit the crossbar. Must have taken a deflection or a save, as Kendall will loop a ball in towards the area, and it bounces around, but Preston wins it. And now Park Avenue have a chance. This is what we were speaking about, Sam, is that they have a chance potentially to catch them on the break, as Preston tries to go forward, but too much on the ball from Eddie Mayoko means that the ball is cleared out from centre-half Josh Ashman, and Park Avenue will have a throw-in just on halfway line. Just under 5 minutes to go in this half.
Chance for the counter-attack is there, though, Park Avenue. As Arthur rightly points out, there's been a few moments in the game where they have cleared a corner and they've had opportunities. It was then the corner taker was actually changed for Guiseley. It was actually Liam Tong who took the corner on that occasion. More of an outswinger. Park Avenue dealt with it either way. And in fairness to Park Avenue, they have dealt with a lot of the crosses so far in the game very well. That's something they've really done well against Guiseley, but it has been the goal come from a speculative effort from Reece Kendall, and then they've also hit the crossbar, Guiseley, through Gabriel Johnson, who came very close as well from an effort just outside the box as Tong plays it forward. Oh, and Gabriel Johnson got the ricochet there off Lancaster, but Dunston's on hand to pick up the pieces. A ball played forward, and he wanted his goalkeeper to come there, Ashman. He never. Bit of a miscommunication between defender and goalkeeper, and Guiseley have given away a cheap corner there. I think Ashman was well within his rights to expect Battersby to come for that one. He never. It's a corner, and this is a chance for Park Avenue to get a dangerous ball in, especially as this corner's been gift-wrapped to them.
Yeah, first corner of the half for Park Avenue, I think. I feel a bit dizzy. Just a few minutes left of the half. Hopefully, potentially get a shot on goal and test the man in goal, Ollie Battersby, who's not had much to do in terms of saves today, as the corner goes short into Osadibe, back to Shanks. Shanks looking to get in the box, dancing potentially, but it's shielded out of play, is it? No, it's still in the area.
Still in the area. Somehow the ball didn't go out of play. There's
Well
a
done,
lot
ball.
of players, and that's going to be a goal kick on that occasion. Though Park Avenue can't believe it. They're surrounding the referee, 3-4 players, and it's going to be given as a goal kick in the end. But the ball somehow wasn't shielded, despite the fact Guiseley had 3 or 4 players around the ball. They kept it in, and eventually it goes out for a goal kick, and they took it short in the end, Park Avenue, and that might not quite have been the right option, because it never quite came to anything in the end, did it, the corner? But a corner's something for them to maybe cling on to, especially because it was a miscommunication at the back from Guiseley, and there have been 1 or 2 of them in the game so far.
Yeah, they just need to get on, keep pressing them, keep, on the front foot from the first challenge, really, like Osadibe there, pressing the back line, and Mayoko will win that ball, but it's a wasteful header, unchallenged almost in the middle of the park, and he found Ollie Brown, and Kofi Moore tries to knock it past Hay, but he wins the ball back, and Hay wins the ball once more off Kofi Moore, who fouls Hay for the second or third time in this half. Lewis Hay doing ever so well with those energy levels. Ted Lavelle gets the ball rolling backwards towards Whiting and into Lancaster in the middle of the centre half.
Yeah, he might have been a bit lucky to escape a yellow card for me there, Kofi Moore, because if Hay does get to that, it might be onto a good break. But in the end, though, in fairness, I don't think Hay was quite running forward. It was more sideways if he won the ball. So I understand why the yellow card wasn't given. We're only about just over 90 seconds away from maybe the 45 additional minutes being up anyway. There might be a little bit added on as well as the ball goes over the top. That's going to be well headed away, though, on that occasion by Brown. Eventually a throw-in's given in favour of Guiseley. And as a final touch did come off a Park Avenue man, I believe it was Jordan Preston. And Guiseley will take the throw-in with Ollie Brown as well.
I think Andy Welsh gave that one for the linesman there. Linesman definitely agreed with him. There's a familiar face on the Guiseley bench today as well, Sam. A bit of an enemy at the moment. Danny King, obviously a friend of us all here at Park Avenue. He's now on the in the dugout for Guiseley as they go forward, and just clipped the heels there did.
It's Kendall, I believe, who clipped the heels of a Dunston, and the ball over the top. Through it was by Obasoto looking for the fellow player on the left-hand side, but in the end he clipped his man, and that is a free kick. I mean, again, we will talk a bit more at half-time off, but I mean, saying it does stay 1-0 going into the break, what do Park Avenue need to do in the second half for you to come out a different team and really put this Guiseley team under pressure? Because as good as Guiseley have been at times, I do think defensively, there's lots a couple of opportunities for Park Avenue to really test Guiseley. We'll break off for a moment, though, as the ball is back with Battersby, the goalkeeper, who puts his foot through it, though, and that's going to be up towards Denton. That's very good forwards play from him, but Lewis Hay I thought he's going to play back to his goalkeeper, eventually does play it off Kofi Moore, and that will be a throw-in. So just going back to the question, what do you think Park Avenue really need to change in the game?
Well, I mean, you look at the front line of Mayoko, Osadibe and Preston. Mayoko obviously just playing a little bit deeper, almost at that number 10 spot, and none of them have particularly been involved, none of them have been given the service to even be involved in this game, and it's perhaps that the lack of presence in midfield has costed Park Avenue there. As Gabriel Johnson's just completely wrestled Jack Whiting to the floor, and Whiting just wriggling around in pain there. Looked like that one hurt, and that was quite dirty play from Johnson. Off the ball, as one additional minute is added, and for me that's a yellow card. It's off the ball, he's wrestled him down, that's just dirty play, but experience as well.
I think Johnson may have just noticed he was blocking him off there and noticed he wasn't going to get to the ball, and perhaps brought him down. One added minute's been played. We've already 25 seconds into that one added minute, so we might run a little bit over the one added minute. We don't get one added minute much for these days, do we, Arthur, with the new added time rule? But this game is only requires a minute, and it's up towards Jordan Preston. It's going to be headed away well, though. That's controlled, and it's going to be flicked backwards as well by the number 4. Lavelle, but it's Osadibe goes for it. It's going to be headed away that occasion well by Ashman, though. And now this could be a chance. What a ball that is from Tongat to the left-hand side to Obasoto. That's a very good pass. Obasoto breaking inside. He goes to play a ball through. It could be an opportunity. Very good defending from Whiting there, because not one but 2 players were around him. Gabriel Johnston and Tom Denton. That's very good defending from Whiting to get back and make the clearance. But what a pass that was from Tom to the left-hand side. Well, he's had a fine game so far.
Absolutely gorgeous. A bit of a daisy cutter, although you won't find much daisies on this artificial surface at the Horsefall, as the half-time whistle has gone there. 1-0 to Guiseley here at the Horsefall. But I'll just touch back on it. Defensively for Park Avenue, I don't think they've struggled. I think they've done really well to contain the front line of Johnson and Denton. Of course, Johnson did hit the crossbar around 5 minutes ago, but that was from an effort from just outside the area. And the goal, of course, was from around 30, 35 yards. Other than that, defensively, Park Avenue have done really well, but like I mentioned, that lack of presence in the midfield has meant that they haven't really been able to break out and get forward and utilise those front men.
I think, if you're looking at the game, I think, like you say, I think defensively, I think Park Avenue have done really well. I think they've really analysed the fact the ball's going to be played up a lot to Tom Denton. That's been the case. They've often, Denton's been beaten in the air. When Denton has won the ball, I think Park Avenue have been very good to get into the second balls, which is very important. And I think that will please Danny Whitaker. I think he'll be saying that's what we've done well. But the problem ultimately, I agree with you, Arthur, has been going forward. It's been trying to create the opportunities. Link-up play between the forward players hasn't really been there. Lewis Hay's been a bright spot for me. He had that chance early on where there was a bit of a mix-up between Ollie Brown and Oliver Battersby, and he broke in behind. He had that shot. It was a very tight angle, in fairness to him, and he kind of flashed it across the face. But since then, we haven't really seen anything from Park Avenue in an attacking sense. And I think that if you're the Guiseley defenders so far, they might not have much of an easier half of football all season.
Well, Oliver Battersby might as well have a book with him, to be honest, because since that first minute he has not had much to do other than playing as a sweeper keeper that he's done very well to his ability, and just interesting to see what will continue in the second half. Will there be any changes? Obviously on the bench for Park Avenue, Mason O'Malley, Reward Makona, new signing and loanee today, big lad, 6'4" striker, Justin Iwobi on loan from Halifax Town, Brad Doherty and Miles Labastide rounding off the bench. There's plenty of options there, especially going forward. 3 attacking substitutes potentially there with Labastide, Doherty and Iwobi, and let's just hope that the second half just really allows Park Avenue to get a grip of the game, get that ball down and get that ball potentially challenging Ollie Battersby's goal.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's Derby Day in the Northern Premier League on this New Year's Day in 2024. It is Bradford Park Avenue 0. Guiseley won, the goal coming after 23 minutes. It's Guiseley left back Reece Kendall with a strike from about 30 yards from goal, flashing into the back of the net. That's the difference between the two teams so far. Half-time here at the Horsefall Stadium in the Northern Premier League. Bradford Park Avenue 0, Guiseley 1. So, welcome back everyone. It is the second half coverage of this Northern Premier League game between Bradford Park Avenue and Guiseley, a West Yorkshire derby on this New Year's Day. Once again, Happy New Year to you all for 2024 half-time score. Bradford Park Avenue 0, Guiseley 1. Of course, Bradford Park Avenue with this result are still sitting in 20th. Guiseley will move one place to 8th as things stand. Goal coming after 23 minutes, a goal from Reece Kendall about 30 yards from goal. A very good strike from him. And you've got to say, after second half, things do need to change from a Park Avenue point of view, especially going forward. Not necessarily defensively, but going forward, things need to change. The teams are coming out now. We will give you confirmation of any changes, but it looks to me like Danny Whittaker is going to go with the same 11, at least for now.
Yeah, I think so. Just been nice to see a few shots on goal when it's Sam test that keeper that he's not seeing much in the goal of Guiseley. All the batters being just get at him, try and press him. You know, it's 1-0. It's New Year's Day. Anything can happen. It's a West Yorkshire derby. Get a few challenges in. Come on.
Let's get a few in. I mean, there has been a couple of challenges in the game, of course. One from Ted Lavelle early on in the game, I remember, was quite fast. It's always good to see that. I mean, obviously, when the two sides met at Nethermore Park at the end of August, it was a lot of challenges flying in that ended up having 4 red cards in the game. So it was very fast. Not quite at the same intensity yet this game. I think it's been a game that's been played at a good pace so far at the Horsfall Stadium. Again, teams with different ambitions at the moment in the league table. So we're still waiting for the first win and first goal of the Danny Whittaker era so far. It's his third game now, 2.5 games he's been in charge for. It is going to be Bradford Park Avenue who do get us underway for the second half. I'll run you through the lineups again in a moment. It looks like there has been no changes at the interval as the referee, Jacob Graham, is about to get us underway for the second period as he waits to blow the whistle. He's just putting his hand up for both goalkeepers. They are ready, and the whistle is about to go for the second half. It does go for the second half. We are underway at the Horsfall Stadium, second half of this West Yorkshire derby, Northern Premier League encounter between, I think it's a handball there from Chinid Wasadibe early on, and he was never getting away with that one, was he, Wasadibe?
Well, he'll play American football there, Chin. Fantastic control on the left arm. But interesting start there, Lavelle playing that crossfield ball that we've seen quite often now, that long ball style of play. You know, you mentioned Danny Whittaker looking for that first goal of his tenure here. But, you know, defensively, it looks stronger, it looks better. And although Park Avenue are 1-0 down, they've done really well to contest with the big striker, Tom Denton. No doubt that Ollie Battersby's free kick here will search for the big ball striker.
And it does, and it's actually going to be flicked on. It wasn't by Denton, it was actually by Whiting, I believe it was. But a ball goes up to Wasadibe. He's beaten well in the air, and that'll give me an opportunity to run you through the teams very quickly as play goes on. It is for Park Avenue. Tom Scott in goal. Outfield players are Lucas Dunstan, Lewis Hay, Ted Lavelle, Jack Whiting, Will Lancaster, Ethan Vaughan making his debut.
Hang on.
And there's some opportunity going forward. That's a very good challenge coming in there, though. That was by the number 6, Josh Ashman, actually, and that was on. I believe it was Eddie Mayoko, actually, the challenger. Will break off still as Park Avenue have the ball in a good position, but it is following on. Ethan Vaughan makes his debut after signing earlier today. Connor Shanks, Shinidi Wasadibe, Jordan Preston, Eddie Mayoko. On the bench, Mason O'Marley, Reward Mwakona, Justin Iwobi, Brad Doherty, Miles Laversteed. 4 Guiseley, Oliver Battersby in goal. Brown, Kendall the goal scorer, of course, Ekpolo, Walker, Ashman, Moore, Tong, Denton, Gabriel Johnson, and a debuting Abimbola Obasoto, who had a lively first half. And there might be an opportunity for Guiseley, so I will break off momentarily. There's not an opportunity, though, because Park Avenue have done well defensively. On the bench for Guiseley, it's Callum Murphy, Lee Whelan, Callum Chippendale, Tom Pratt, and Sincere Hall. And that is all the teams, and of course, the referee, Jacob Graham, and the assistant referees, Daniel McKee and Stephen Brown. And again, 47 minutes in, still Park Avenue, Neil Guiseley. We had a promising moment a moment ago, the Walther, on that right-hand side. Good challenge coming in the end, though, by the number 6 of Guiseley, Josh Ashman. But that's better from Park Avenue. That's what we want to see. And they might have an opportunity here as well, actually, Bradford Park Avenue. On the right-hand side again, a Dunstan coming in field in a bit more of an inverted role for now, though. He finds the number 8, Connor Shanks, and he goes out to the left-hand side to Hay. Eventually, though, Hayes controls Port, and that will go out. But Park Avenue, they need to get on the front foot immediately. They need to give this Guiseley defence something to think about.
Yeah, I don't like... I do like it, is what I was meant to say. I do like seeing Lucas Dunstan step out of that back line. Yeah, at one point there, he was sort of playing as an attacking midfielder in that small attack. But you mentioned there that there was an attack down the right-hand side. Park Avenue shooting from left to right now from our perspective. And it was the new signing, Vaughan, that played a ball in behind for Mayoko that was excellently cut out by centre-half Ashman. But interesting to see what comes of the second half in terms of that wide play. Nice to see Vaughan getting involved. He's got plenty of room out here, but unfortunately Park Avenue yet to utilise the ball to its potential.
Yeah, the ball's bowled out by the goalkeeper Battersby to Ashman. Ashman looking for options. He goes to his left-hand side to the goal scorer, Reece Kendall. Kendall plays one over the top. That's well cut out, though, by Lancaster, and he pretty much plays it to his manager there, Danny Whittaker, who has kicked it out of play. Nearly caught by Whittaker. Bit of words exchanged there between Jordan Preston and Josh Ashman. Maybe Preston just telling him to get on with it as Kendall throws one forward. It's going to be headed by Denton. He finds Gabriel Johnson, and Johnson with some nice footwork there, but he loses out, though, eventually. And eventually it's going to be a foul given. No, it's not going to be a foul given. A throw-in's going to be given, and it actually hits our camera here we've got, and that was a bit of a hit one of the wires, and that was a bit of a shaky one for the tall camera we've got overlooking the pitch.
Well, I just had a look at our media manager over to our left, and he was shaking then. Panic up here in the pavilion at Park Avenue, but I think it's standing. It's done all right.
Yes, a bit of a heart-in-mouth moment there, and not because of the game, because of that's a really poor ball, actually, backed by Gabriel Johnson to Reece Kendall, and maybe Park Avenue are a bit eager to get on with it. The referee, again, just trying to make sure that the throw-in's been taken in the correct position, as the ball is back now with the number 6, Lancaster. The ball eventually going to be played back to him again. Park Avenue just trying to build forward. We've played nearly 50 minutes. Still Park Avenue nil, Guiseley 1 over the top, well headed away by Ashman. Like Polo's going to be first to the ball, as he? No, he's not, but eventually the ball ricochets from Shanks to Kendall. Kendall goes to the left-hand side to the new signing, Obasoto. The ball played forward again. Well, good tracking back there, though, from Mayoko. And the ball, Mayoko can't quite control it. Prince Polo steps in, does well to find Kendall. The ball just won't really stick for Park Avenue. Very well chested down by Denton. And Denton receives the ball back from Johnson as well. Denton to the right-hand side, actually. The ball played forward. That's a really nice turn. That's a really good play from Guiseley. They're in a good position here. Shot comes in. It's saved by the goalkeeper. And Tom Scott denies him. That is a good save by the goalkeepers on the right-hand side. The shot eventually did come in. I believe it might have been by, I'm not sure who had the shot for Guiseley. Whoever it was denied by Tom Scott.
Yeah, just gotta keep them out if there's any chance of the game. You definitely do not want to see Guiseley score from this corner from a Park Avenue perspective, because that will ultimately do everything but kill the game, as the ball's lofted in by Captain Tong, and it's won by centre-half Ashman, but his looping header, trying to find that back stick, runs out of play for a goal kick to be taken by Tom Scott with his left boot, hopefully finding a Park Avenue man when it gets into play, but just got to try and keep hold of the ball. It's looking promising in the second half, just 5-6 minutes in the 51st minute now, as Dunstan picks up the ball in this right back orthodox position now.
Yeah, that definitely was an opportunity, as you rightly say, though, there at the other end for Guiseley. Good save from Tom Scott, having that near post covered. And as Orv says, the last thing you want to do with your Park Avenue is concede early in the second half. They might do that here, actually. This could be an opportunity. Running forward, it is Tong who has a go, and it's not the most convincing strike in the world. He's had a great game, Liam Tong, so far, and that really epitomises his game, that bit of play. Gets the ball out of his feet, runs forward into space. Eventual shot, though. I think he widened the angle too much for himself in the end. Wasn't central with the goal. He was a little bit wide, and the shot goes out for a goal kick. Not the best ever from Tong, but Guiseley, they've stepped it up again in the last few minutes.
Yeah, Tong's done ever so well today, picking up the ball in deeper areas, looking to play it out wide, playing some fantastic looking passes that we mentioned in the first half, and really driving forward. But that's twice now. He shot with his left foot and it went wide out left, and he shot with his right foot and it went wide out right. So don't think he's got his shooting boots on today, does the Guiseley captain.
Park Avenue have got a generous corner given to them here, because it was actually a defensive header by the centre-back, I believe. It might well have been Aidan Walker. There was a ball forward from Lewis Hay, and Walker got his angles wrong, went to head the ball away, comes off his head and goes out for a corner. And this could be an opportunity for Park Avenue. 7 minutes into the second half. The ball is going to be whipped in. It's not a bad one. It's going to be headed, though, by a Guiseley head. And Gabriel Johnson gets to the second ball. He can try and bring it away. The Guiseley top goal scorer. Johnson plays it forward. There's an opportunity for Prince Polo now. Polo in a good position, goes back to Gabriel Johnson again. The ball's out to the right-hand side. That's a foul in the middle of the park. It was given away by Johnson, but he was clattered in the process of doing so. And a free kick in a dangerous position for Guiseley. Going back to the corner at the other end, though, that wasn't a bad corner from Park Avenue. It was a good delivery, but a Guiseley header got there first.
Yeah, easily dealt with from Guiseley. Nice ball, bit of whippage on it, I think the kids call it, Sam. And, yeah, fantastic. Just to see Park Avenue just sort of having a go, trying to get the ball into the area. But now, dangerous set piece for Guiseley here, around 25-30 yards out from goal. You've got Johnson and Captain Tongue over at Johnson with his left foot, Tongue with his right foot, as there'll be a three-man wall set up by Tom Scott.
Well, it's like Tongue is certainly going to be the favourite for this one. Johnson does step back as well, though. Any of these two players could strike it. It is going to be Tongue. Tongue with a low one. It's not the most convincing. He tried to go under the wall and catch the goalkeeper out. It did go under the wall, but it was straight into the arms of Tom Scott. And I think that might have been the wrong option in the end from Tom, because it made the save very easy for Tom Scott.
Yeah, but as long as he makes that save, any save is a save for a goalkeeper. It goes down in the little notebook as a fantastic play from Preston to hold the ball up there from the long ball, and he plays a little 1-2 with Eddie Mayoko, and he's got a bit of room in front of him now and goes out wide to Vaughan, who puts the ball into the area, but there's only one man in there, Chinedu Osadibe, and unfortunately it lofts over his head, Sam.
It was a good ball from Vaughan, though, a good ball into the middle, maybe someone a bit taller than Osadibe there might have got on the end of it. It was a little bit unfortunate that the ball was a little bit too high, but that was promising for Park Avenue. Again, they're getting them crosses into the box, but the problem is Guiseley do have a height advantage in most areas of the field, so crosses might not be Park Avenue's route back into the game. We've nearly played 55 minutes. It's still Bradford Park Avenue 0, Guiseley 1. The goal coming after 23 minutes from Reece Kendall. An excellent first half strike from the left back. The ball is now with Tongue. He plays one over the top towards Johnson, and a little bit of danger, and the goalkeeper, Tom Scott, comes and does well. It was over towards Johnson. It was he nearly got him behind there, but the goalkeeper, good starting position from Scott as Connor Shanks wins a throw, and he does well there, the number 8. Good persistence from him. Don't imagine it'll be long before Whittaker starts looking to his bench for Park Avenue. They do have the likes of Brad Doherty, Miles Labastide, and new signing Justin Iwobi, who is 6'4", who arrived earlier today. As the ball's on the right-hand side, with Vaughan. Vaughan over the top. It's over towards Mayoko, who goes into an offside position. He wins his flick on. It goes through to the goalkeeper. The referee is just going to play an advantage in fairness to him. But again, you can't be offside in them positions, Arthur. It's an opportunity to get a ball forward. And in the end, they just gift it back to Guiseley.
Yeah, not first to Mayoko there. He made the right run. I think Vaughan just held onto it a little bit too long there as a big challenge. And that just seemed like a bit of a 50-50 challenge. Perhaps it was Lewis Hay that got there a little bit late on a challenge on Guiseley captain Liam Tongue there. They'll win a free kick just 10 yards inside the Park Avenue half.
Yeah, it was a free kick. It was a Tongue. It was beaten to. Well, wasn't beaten to the ball. He was just beaten, really, wasn't he, by Hay, and he just got caught in the end, Tongue, and that's going to be a free kick. It's a bit of a long way out, this free kick. It's going to be played in, though, by Liam Tongue. I mentioned there will be players coming on eventually. No one really seems to be warming up at the moment, though, as the ball is headed away by Lancaster. Ball headed in by Kendall, and it was a header away from a Park Avenue man. Came back off Denton, and eventually they clear it away, and one of the youngsters in the crowd gets his foot onto that ball as it goes out of play. But Guiseley, again, when they do go forward, Guiseley, they're certainly looking quite threatening at times, and Scott's been called into action a little bit more recently.
Yeah, well, when you've got a striker the size of Tom Denton and a man that's in the form that Gabriel Johnson is in, they're always going to be causing a threat up at that top end of the field, and that's what they've been doing all day. But Park Avenue, in fairness to him, have done really well to deal with it as the ball goes into the box. Flick on one by Denton, but it's well blocked out by Whiting as the clearance now is picked up by Ollie Brown for Guiseley, and he goes down the line looking for more, but Lewis Hay recovers there, does really well to shield the ball, and we'll try and let it run out for a goal kick, but Kofi Moore does ever so well to regain the ball and flicks it into Gabriel Johnson, who then goes back to his captain.
Yeah, he does go back to his captain. It's been by... Oh, it's flicked on. It's Denton who gets there. It's flicked away. It's Kendall who goes for it. Does he know? He does second time, and that is not as convincing as his first half strike as it goes out. But there was a few moments of danger. Originally, the throw in. Nearly the classic commentator's curse from Arthur saying they've dealt with the threat of Denton well in the game. The throw goes and he wins the header, Denton, and it's very good defending from Whiting because he kind of has to get the ball out of his feet while he's on the floor, and he does, and then eventually another ball goes in. It's towards Tongue, but eventually that they do clear the ball. It comes to Kendall and his shot goes wide, but Guiseley are looking more and more threatening as this game goes on at the moment, but it still remains 1-0 to Guiseley as well, as the ball is now with Tongue, and he plays it forward. He gets it back as well from Denton. Ball out to the left-hand side. It's new signing Obasoto, who's been a bit quieter in this half so far, but he gets the ball in with his left foot. It's towards Denton. It's well headed away, and then it can't be controlled either by Kofi Moore, and that's going to be a throw in favour of Park Avenue. But Guiseley, they're certainly looking more threatening. Park Avenue feels like they're hanging on a bit more.
Yeah, guys, they're just playing with a bit more pace now, you see. And it seemed, for me, I mentioned it in the first half, the lack of emphasis in midfield. Captain Liam Tong, every time he picks up the ball for Guiseley, it seems like he's got space to run into, and that's a real problem because he's the one that's getting all these attacks started for Guiseley, getting it out wide, and they're getting the balls in the box for Johnson and Denton, and they're enjoying it at the moment now.
They are, and can Park Avenue try and get the way back in the game? They've given away a free kick, though. It's Mayoko gives it away in the middle of the park, and it's going to be a free kick. We played just under an hour at the Horsefall Stadium. Bradford Park Avenue 0, Guiseley 1 so far. The goal coming after just 23 minutes from Reece Kendall. That goal feels like a little while ago in the game now, but Guiseley have remained in control for the large part, but Park Avenue have had their moments, and they'll be open to have more and more moments as the game goes on. As the ball is with Ashman, he goes back to his goalkeeper under a bit of pressure from Mayoko, but he does get it out of his feet, Battersby, and this could be an opportunity. Gabriel Johnson steals it behind. He doesn't quite get there, though. Good goalkeeping from Tom Scott, actually. I thought for a moment, letting the ball go over his head there. I believe it was Whiting. He may pay the price for that, but in fairness, though, the goalkeeper did well. And the ball's given away again, though. It's headed on. It's towards the captain, Tong, who goes for it. It's deflected, and it will go out for a corner. The initial header was won by the big man Tom Denton. It didn't find Johnson, it found Tong. His efforts deflected wide. It just feels like at the moment, without trying to be negative, a second goal's coming for Guiseley, because it just feels like they've just turned it up a notch. And Park Avenue, the defending's not as convincing as the first half at the moment. Yeah,
they definitely turned it up a notch in terms of the fact that the majority of the play is now going on in the Park Avenue half, and particularly with Guiseley driving towards the goal. But they're yet to test Tom Scott in the half yet. He pulled off an excellent save and some good goalkeeping in the first half, but he's yet to be tested in the second, as Josh Tong will make his way over to the right-hand side to put the ball into the area. But, just got to keep it out. Like you mentioned, 60 minutes gone here at the Horsefall, 1-0. Guys, they're about to put the ball into the box, and let's hope it's not 2 from a Park Avenue perspective.
Liam Tong with the delivery. It's still going to be flicked on away just about. Preston then gets on the second ball. Preston plays it away. That's good play from him.
Go on, Eddie.
And now this could be a chance now for Mayoko. He's not quite going to have the legs to get there. He was surrounded by a couple of his players. Good play though by Mayoko. He gets the ball out of danger, tries to run it forward, but in the end it wasn't quite meant to be, as the ball is going to be a throw-in for Kendall, just in front of the home dugout. And again, the manager looking on. Danny Whittaker still waiting the first goal of the Danny Whittaker era here at the Horsefall Stadium. As the ball goes forward, it's going to be headed, well, it's going to be near enough headed away. Denton tried to get there, but he was beaten to it by a Park Avenue man. And the ball is with Denton, who flicks it forward, but that one's going to run through to the goalkeeper, Tom Scott. And all the changes though often, there doesn't seem like there's any action going on the Park Avenue bench. And I must say, I'm surprised at this stage of the game with an hour's played. I do feel like changes are definitely needed in forward positions.
Well, especially when you look at what's come in the second half, has been much of the same of the first half, really, of Guiseley really taking control and getting forward for the majority of the play. It's just interesting. I don't know whether an attacking option is correct there, as we see Reward Makona is sent down to warm up. And attacking options are all well and good if you're bringing them on, but unfortunately Park Avenue are just not providing the service for Preston and Osadibe. Really yet to see them involved in the 61 minutes of play today, as the ball goes forward from Lancaster looking for Preston or Osadibe, and it's just dealt with by the back line of Guiseley.
Yeah, I dealt with it on that occasion, the Lions, but it's going to be an opportunity to come forward. Park Avenue, Jordan Preston in a good position. Preston, can he get the shot away? He does, it's blocked. That was something for Park Avenue, though, but now Guiseley can maybe counter-attack. It's Gabriel Johnson who receives the ball from Tong. Johnson over the top, looking for his man. Will Johnston get there? He does. He gets there just in front of Obasoto in the end, and it's headed back to his goalkeeper by Lancaster. Very good composure from him. Seeing his goalkeeper, heads the ball back to him. I thought when Johnston let that ball bounce, he might pay for that, but in fairness to Johnston, he recovered it well. But better from Park Avenue going forward. Preston, he couldn't really get the ball out of his feet. Eventually the shot comes away. It's blocked, but that's a bit better from Park Avenue.
Well, it was nearly the inverted commentator's curse there, as I mentioned, that we're yet to see our strikers particularly get much in terms of chances in the game there. And Preston did really well to just create a little bit of room for himself on the edge of the box, got his shot away, but the Guiseley defence did well to block the effort before it even reached the area. Now, as Lancaster looks to take the ball up the field a bit, and he now strolls into the midfield from his defensive position. Shanks goes out wide to Preston now, and here we go. Park Avenue on a little bit of a roll now for the first time in the game.
Park Avenue is Preston's ball in. It's Osadibe goes for it. The ball's headed away. And again, the second ball, though, is won by Guiseley and Gabriel Johnson. Really good strikers play from him. He plays it out to Obasoto. This could be a chance. He's got Kendall on the overlap as well. Obasoto goes beyond his man really well. He's into a good position. Cuts it back. This is a chance. Oh, it's very, very good defending. At the last, in fact, I think he kicks the ball against his man. It's like he hit him in the face, Liam Tong. It's wiped out Liam Tong. There was nothing wrong with it. I think it was Whiting, maybe, who got...
Teddy Lavelle, I believe.
Teddy Lavelle got back there. He cleared the ball and it cannons off the face, I believe, of Liam Tong, and he goes down. I mean, it's one of them. He takes it in the face. It's a massively important touch, though, from Lavelle, because he was poised to strike that one, Tong, on the edge of the area, and in the end, he just gets back there and does enough. Park Avenue survive.
Yeah, good play initially from Johnson. He received the ball in his own half. He then played it out wide to Obasoto, who's been fantastic at driving down this left-hand side. He then shrugged off the challenge from Lucas Dunstan. Obasoto threw his ball back over towards the penalty spot area, and Teddy Lavelle just put his foot through it right into the face of Captain Tong. But now Park Avenue driving forward. Great challenge over on that side from Ollie Brown. But it will be a Park Avenue corner now. Park Avenue in the last 5 minutes just slowly growing into the game, perhaps, creating a few more chances for them.
They are absolutely growing into the game a little bit. A lot of their attacks coming down that left-hand side as well. So this is an opportunity. It's a very good challenge from Brown, but it will be a corner to Park Avenue. It's going to be whipped in. It's a deep one to the back post. Very deep. In fact, Lancaster heads it forward. It will be headed away by Prince Polo, and eventually the ball's cleared away by Kendall. And Park Avenue just starting to maybe close in a little bit. Was that Callum who tried to catch that ball there?
No, I think just Callum's look-alike. Callum's got a rather... In fairness to Callum, he's got a rather dashing coat on today.
Yes, it wasn't. I thought that was Callum for a moment trying to catch the ball, but it's Jordan Preston who's got it just inside the penalty area. He goes out to a Dunstan. Park Avenue starting to build some momentum at the moment. No. It's a long way out. A shot's going to come in. It's not a bad one. It's deflected. It will be a corner. It was a speculative effort, to say the least, from Ted Lavelle. It was even further out than I think Kendall's goal was in the first half. He had the shot. It deflected Osadibe. It goes out for a corner. Osadibe was actually near it as well, so it could have deflected through to him. Park Avenue, though, this is the first time in a long time, Arthur, we're starting to see something from Park Avenue go forward. They're rallying at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. As the corner's about to be swung in, 2 hands up in the air from Shanks, in swinging ball, bounces around in the area, cleared from Johnson now, and it looks like Kofi Moore will try and start a counter-attack all on his own, but well won by Lewis Hay there. And Kofi Moore potentially handballed it there, but he's beaten Lewis Hay now, and he's driving into the half, and he's gone past, was it a Dunstan there? And a Dunstan will go into the book there. The referee just gave him a... I didn't really like that. Who does the ref think he is there? Giving him the no-look yellow card. Thinks he's Mike Dean.
A no-look yellow card from the referee there. It was a Dunstan who just left a trailing leg out. Of course, a Dunstan was sent off earlier on in the season, of course. He brought down his man there. It was a very good break forward from Kofi Moore. I've got to say, I think Kofi Moore and Obasoto, they've used their wings really well when they've had the ball, haven't they? They've run at Park Avenue every time they've had it. And on that occasion, I don't think a Dunstan really had a choice to bring down Kofi Moore, because if he didn't, Moore might have been away. It is going to be whipped in by Liam Tong, actually, who does whip on in. It's going to be headed away well, though, on that occasion by Mayoko. Then it's Osadibe goes to win it. The ball's headed away. It finds Preston, though. And now Preston goes to the left-hand side. Not the best ball, though. He was beaten to it originally by Tong, and Park Avenue can't break forward. There was a counter-attack on. And now there's another chance, and there's that a foul. It is a foul. There's another yellow card is coming here. It's Connor Shanks going to the referee's note, but this time he fouls this man. And with that, we literally went 65 minutes without a yellow card in this game. We've had 2 in about 30 seconds, both for Park Avenue.
Well, yeah, and that ultimately is showing the pressure that Guiseley have been putting on them in this second half. We did mention that Park Avenue did grow into that game in the past 5 or 10 minutes, and it is starting to open up for them, perhaps a little bit as more tired bodies come in with the last 25 minutes. But when Guiseley do get forward like this, as Tong puts the ball into the area and it's looking towards Denton, but it's dealt with well by the Park Avenue defence, and the Dunstan clears, and it'll just come out for a Guiseley thrown in front of their bench. Nice little keepy-uppies from manager Andy Welsh there. But yeah, just 2 yellow cards there. That is showing the sustained pressure that Guiseley are doing. And you mentioned the pace on the wings of Kofi Moore and Obasoto. Well, they're causing real problems.
Obasoto, I'm sure, will be absolutely licking his lips. The fact that there is the Dunstan's now on a yellow card as well, as the ball's cleared away. Preston, really good touch from him. Oh, what a strong challenge that is, but a fair one on Osadibe. And the ball forward up towards Preston, and surely be dealt with. It is dealt with by Walker very well. And the ball's going to come forward again. Can Park Avenue just keep rallying We have played around about 68 minutes of the game. We're halfway through the second half. Substitute is coming as well. Justin Iwobi will be introduced soon, but they've given the ball away. Park Avenue. Prince Polo gets it, and he goes to the left-hand side, and he brings in Obasoto. Obasoto maybe with a chance to run forward. Obasoto, he's still got it for now. He's going to go in field, though, instead. It's Tong. Tong to the right-hand side to Moore. Moore can whip on in. He does. It's low. It's going to be cleared away. And it's someone picks the one. It's Moore again. Moore shoots and deflects it. Oh, it just goes wide. I think it was further wide than what maybe originally
From our
thought.
angle, that looked like it was dipping in, Sam. But then when you see it bounce, I think it was nearly there at the corner flag.
I know. Maybe a misleading angle from myself and Arthur's point of view there. The shot came in on the left, but it deflects. I thought it might be dipping in. It goes way wide in the end, and Liam Tong is going to come across and take the corner. It was a poor clearance. It fell, didn't it? Very nicely to Moore. His shot was deflected out, and that's more pressure, though, from Guiseley. And they might well be adding a little bit more pressure. It's going to be in by Tong. It's headed forward. It's headed away. Actually, Guiseley still yet to make one of their corners really count in this game. As Preston, nice flick on from him. He wins this side of throw-in. Surely, that's a great chance to introduce new signing Justin Iwobi, who is about to make his debut for Park Avenue. And I think the changes are much needed with just over 20 minutes to go.
Yeah, definitely. Who's coming off the field? Chinedu Osadebe, unlucky for Chin today. Not really had much in terms of service, and he looks disappointed. And there'll be another change prepared
Mason O'Malley
for Park Avenue. Mason O'Malley now stripped off receiving instructions from first team head coach Danny Whitaker, and now Park Avenue have done well to hold out, and it's 1-0. They're in the game, defending very well, sustained pressure from guys in this half, but they've really done well. And like I mentioned earlier, they haven't tested Tom Scott in the goal in his red kit of Park Avenue now.
It's going to be another change. The number 7 coming off Ethan Vaughan. His race is run on his debut. Mason O'Malley is going to replace him. I mean, you mentioned about Tom Scott, Arthur. I don't think he's been tested an awful lot in the game. He's made a couple of saves, routine saves at times, but saves are saves, of course. I think Park Avenue need to test Oliver Battersby a little bit more, especially if they're going to get anything out of this game. They're 1-0 down with just over 20 minutes to go at the Horsfall Stadium in the Northern Premier League. A victory for Guiseley takes them up to 8th. Park Avenue, a defeat, leaves them in 20th, 4 points adrift in the bottom 4. As the ball goes over the top, it's a really good ball actually to the left-hand side. It was played by Lavelle to Preston. Preston in a good position. Can he get a cross in? No, he runs out of legs. He got dispossessed quite well, in fairness. He was dispossessed by Walker, I believe. And guys, can Park Avenue, can them changes make a big difference to the host, though? Because they need some inspiration in the game. So do you think them changes, they're the key, aren't they?
Well, hopefully, yeah. It looks like Mason O'Malley's gone out to that left back, and like I mentioned, Lewis Hay has gone into midfield now, joining Shanks and Lavelle. Hopefully that just allows a little bit more balance in the midfield, a little bit more chance for Connor Shanks to receive the ball in an area that perhaps he can turn and get his centre forwards involved. Iwobi's a big lad. Hopefully he gets a chance to prove what he can do as the ball goes forward towards him. And he wins his first header and drops to Preston. Great touch.
It is Preston. That's a good challenge by Ekpolo, though. Preston, can he work it out? He can. It's Hay, not in a bad position. He goes to the left hand. That's a really poor ball, though, from Lewis Hay. And Gabriel Johnson spins away. Now, that's going to be a foul. Is it?
Shoulder to shoulder.
Shoulder to shoulder. There's no foul given. Lewis Hay receives the ball again, trying to make amends for his poor pass a moment ago. The ball is now with Shanks. He goes into the number 4, which is Ted Lavelle. Lavelle to a Dunstan. Dunstan plays it out to the right-hand side. And on the right-hand side is Mayoko. And ball is now with a Dunstan. What can he do with it? A nice turn from him. And Dunstan goes out to Mayoko. Will the ball go in? It's a lovely silky turn from Eddie Miyoko there, and he gets it back from a Dunstan, plays one in, not a bad ball, headed away. Another chance maybe, Mason O'Malley, can he play one in? He can, it's well headed away again. Guiseley dealing with it really well when called upon. Flicked on by Johnson towards Denton, and a high boot there, and that's a very harsh high boot because Denton had dropped low to head the ball, and he went to put his foot in there, the defender, and the referee gives the decision Guiseley's way.
Who's got? Must be a very high boot to get up there with Tom Denton. He must have a very, very cold head at that height. But yeah, just a shape change since those substitutions for Park Avenue. Gone from 5 at the back to 4 at the back. A Dunstan at right back with Lancaster and Whiting centre halves. O'Malley at left back. Mayoko's gone from being that number 10 to out on this right hand side now. Hopefully Park Avenue with that shape change might create a few more chances and get back into this game here on New Year's Day.
Absolutely, as the ball's flicked on, it's going to be well controlled by Lewis Hay, actually, and Hay's fouled by Gabriel Johnson on that occasion. It was Denton who got his head to it originally, but Lewis Hay working hard for the team as usual. And the ball's now out with Shanks. Can Park Avenue just try and create a little bit more in the game? It's out to O'Malley on the left-hand side. He keeps it well. And Park Avenue, again, as I've mentioned, have gone to a 4 at the back in the game now. Ball down to Preston. Jordan Preston working hard for it. That's going to be cleared away by Walker. That one's going to clear the stands completely. So he certainly put that one out. But again, Park Avenue, another ball comes back at the moment. They've just got to keep pushing and pushing Park Avenue because there is time. We've still got we've got over 15 minutes to play. Park Avenue do have time.
Yeah, there's more and more of the ball being played in this Guiseley half now, something that we didn't really see for the first 15-20 minutes of this second half. Park Avenue potentially now just getting a little bit more grips to the game. Hopefully can service those strikers. Jordan Preston has now the ball dropped to Ted Lavelle, who opened up for a shot that potentially we've seen earlier, and he does open a shot up, but goes comfortably wide of the left post of Oliver Battersby. Looked to curve one in with his left foot, and we'll see a sub now for Guiseley.
Yeah, he likes an effort, Ted Lavelle there. He cut the ball back onto his left foot, whipped it goalwards, but in the end it just goes wide. As Arthur says, Guiseley are going to make their first change in a moment. Looks like the number 14, Lee Whelan, is going to be the man to come onto the field for them. Not quite sure who will be going off. I won't be surprised if we see Obasoto, the end of his day. He only, of course, made his debut. He only signed today, sorry. It is going to be... We're just getting the board sorted now, as many numbers flash up in front of us.
Double change as well.
It's going to be a double change, my point. It's going to be number 17 as well. Sincere Hall is also going to come onto the field. It is going to be number 10. Gabriel Johnson is going to make way, actually. It's a bit of a surprise, taking off the top goal scorer, Gabriel Johnson. He hit the crossbar in the first half. Johnson, he's had an effective game at times, but not quite his most prolific game. Yet not finding the back of the net for Gabriel Johnson. 13 league goals this season by New Year, so he's having a fine season. Not been his best day on Derby Day, though, for him. Park Avenue have contained him well. He's replaced by Lee Whelan, and also it is going to be Obasoto, whose race is run, and Sincere Hall is the man who is coming onto the field. A yellow card's actually going to be introduced here as well. I'm not sure who the yellow card's for.
He's saying it's not a yellow card.
Oh, it's not a yellow card. My apologies. Yeah, he's... put the card back in his pocket. I'm not quite sure how that works, but...
no idea what's gone on there.
We're not quite sure what went on there.
Interesting that he chose to do that while substitutions were going on. He's not really helped us out there, the man
really,
in the middle.
Not really at all. I think Jacob Graham, not quite sure what his intent was there, but it's headed on by Denton. Well won by him. Denton now without his strike partner on the field for now. Well won by Preston as the ball goes forward. That will be cleared away, though, and it's going to be chased by Prince Polo. We have played half an hour off the second half, 75 minutes in at the Horsefall Stadium, and the only goal of the game came after just 23 minutes. Goal scored by Reece Kendall. It's still Bradford Park Avenue 0, Guiseley 1, as the ball is in the middle of the park with Ted Lavelle, and Lavelle in the end goes to the left-hand side to Whiting. Can he play a crossfield ball? Maybe. He's got a man up there now with a lot of height, and Justin Iwobi, that's who he looks for. He's beaten in the air, though, and that Kendall will head back to his goalkeeper, and Battersby will take a little bit of time, and maybe that's going to come into the Guiseley game now. They might start to waste a little bit of time. They know they've got the 3 points in the bag for now, so they might start to waste a little bit of time, maybe.
Yeah, just under 15 minutes to go here in the game on New Year's Day at the Horsefall. Guiseley leading by a goal to 0 as the ball goes forward for Tom Denton. Surprise, surprise, he wins, but he's rolling around on the floor. He gets up now, and the ball bouncing around. He plays a nice little touch in to Sincere Hall, but it's Connor Shanks who wins it and goes out to substitute Mason O'Malley, who's got a bit of time just inside his own half. He looks to go down the line, and his ball just goes astray from Connor Shanks, and that's just been a bit of the story for Park Avenue today. Just that real final touch, final pass, or sometimes almost the first touch and the first pass has been something that's let Park Avenue down today, as Connor Shanks acted as ball boy there, ran 30 yards down the other end of the field to get the ball picked up for Ollie Brown. Lazy from Ollie Brown there. Get the ball.
Justin Iwobi nearly steals in. Is that a foul maybe on Iwobi? He did might like he got there first. The referee's not given it. He just as you were speaking there off, he actually nicked in, got there ahead of the defender, and I think he might have just got away with one, the defender there. It was Ashman who was maybe caught a little bit flat, and Iwobi, good work from him, as another ball comes back onto the field, and that's inevitably going to stop it, and I think it was
played on.
Liam Tong kicks one towards his away end there. So
which idiot kicked that ball onto the field?
Someone did in the crowd, and it did. Oh, and again, he's trying to throw the ball. Well, it's gone back with actually now the ball's not going to go back onto the field. Thankfully, thought they were trying to do it again there, but either way, Bradford Park Avenue still with work to do in the game. And Justin Iwobi, nice work from the new signing there, nearly stealing in behind and nearly winning his side a free kick as the ball is played out. It's going to be controlled it. So a nice attempt of a turn. A free kick's been given actually on the left-hand side, and well, Park Avenue, this is a chance to get one into the middle, and with the added height of Justin Iwobi, get a dangerous ball in Park Avenue here.
Yeah, good work from Ted Lavelle there. Didn't quite get his first touch right, but managed to regain the ball, flick it over his head, and earn his team a foul just over on that left wing. Chance to put the ball into the area. Now we've seen perhaps a few more set pieces now in the second half. It's got to make them count.
Absolutely.
Have to make them count for Park
The last 3
Avenue.
meetings between these two teams have been a draw, so will Park Avenue get one in here? It's whipped in. It's not a great one in truth, though. It's going to be cleared away. Park Avenue need to make more of situations like that, and they were put under a bit of pressure there, actually, but they're going to get away with it for now. Ball to the left-hand side, though, by Liam Tong, and uncharacteristic of Liam Tong today. That ball is poor, and it goes...
Well done, Will Lancaster.
Luke Lancaster's way, and it's a nice turn from him as well. Lancaster plays the ball to Preston. Good hold-up play from him, but then he's given Ashman, does well to get there ahead of him. And everything Park Avenue do in this game just does not seem to be coming off.
Well done,
the ball's well won back. It's Dunstan. A Dunstan comes forward. This could be an opportunity. It's Lucas Dunstan. He goes on. Is that a foul? It's the yellow card and a free kick. That's a really good opportunity. Great play from a Dunstan running forward there. He carried on. Prince Ekpolo gives it away. A very dangerous free kick for Park Avenue on this occasion. They had one a moment ago. They didn't make the most of it. It was a poor delivery. This one is a chance. Great play from a Dunstan. And you imagine the left foot of Lewis Hay might even fancy this.
Well, yeah, Connor Shanks was the one that lofted that ball into the area. Couldn't beat the first man in the area, unfortunately. But this is very much in a shooting position. We saw Lewis Hay bury a free kick at Macclesfield from a similar area. There's a few people interested in the ball at the moment. Hay... looking there, Mayoko walks away from it now. Connor Shanks also stood with it. Connor Shanks right foot, Hay left foot.
This is dangerous.
It's a 5 or 6 man wall set up for Guiseley.
Right outside of the D, this one is, so it's a very good opportunity for Park Avenue. They haven't tested Oliver Battersby anywhere near enough in this game. The referee blows the whistle. It is Lewis Hay. Hay hits it into the wall, and that one will go out for, it won't go out for a corner. My apologies, it's going to be cleared away from a Guiseley man. It wasn't a bad hit from Hay, but it wouldn't make its way past the wall. That felt like a real opportunity, though. Free kick right on the edge of the area. They haven't had many opportunities today, Park Avenue. That felt like a real big one. In the end, they weren't able to make it count, and the clock is ticking away from Park Avenue. 10 minutes to go, plus any added time in the game, as the ball's going to be dealt with. Is it by Brown? It's not going to be dealt with. Connor Shanks with some good play, but in the end, though, Brown gives it away, and the referee's not going to give. He's going to let that one run, and this could be an opportunity. It's a ball in. It's blocked. It's going to be a corner, and Park Avenue. This is better from Park Avenue. They're really putting a bit of pressure on now.
Yeah, the subs seem to have just made a little bit more difference, bit more energy in those attacks, and Park Avenue have to make it go now. You know, plenty of set pieces being put on the box, but no efforts on goal. Do you remember Ollie Battersby making a save today, Sam?
I think he has made a save in the game.
Got to test him at some point.
If he has, he's done a few sweeper-keeper moments, but in terms of saves, they've been few and far between, if not at all. So, ball's going to be whipped in by Shanks. It's not a bad one. It's going to be headed away. It was in towards Iwobi. It's a great header from Denson when you've got him in the penalty area. It's a little bit of an advantage, of course.
Cheat code, almost.
Yeah. You know, it's a cheat code. The ball is with Ted Lavelle. Can he play? That's a really poor ball from Lavelle, though. He gets that one all wrong, and this could be a chance for Guiseley to break forward, actually. The ball is going to be played forward. That's a really poor one, though. The poor one was up towards the number 17, Sincere Hall. And now the ball is back with the goalkeeper, Tom Scott. And now can Park Avenue just try and bring it away? The ball is with the number 11, Eddie Mayoko. Mayoko forward to Preston. Preston can't control. Ashman goes back to his goalkeeper, Battersby. Battersby, that's a really poor kick from him right into the home dugout, actually. That was a really poor kick from Battersby on that occasion. So the clock is ticking, Arthur. Park Avenue, they've made a couple of changes. Do you think another change is needed, or do you think Park Avenue just need to play the way they are? Because they are getting better. They've not tested Battersby yet, but they're just starting to get close to the goal.
Well, 8 minutes to go in regular time as Lewis Hay switches the ball out wide. Here's Mason O'Malley, a chance to put the ball in the box with his left foot. Hits it hard and low, but it's well blocked by, I think it was Aidan Walker there, as Mason O'Malley will take the throw. But yeah, more energy going forward now from Park Avenue. It's actually forcing Guiseley to play a few passes astray and allowing Park Avenue to perhaps have a little bit more of the ball, as O'Malley looks now for Hay. Hay, one-on-one, back to goal. Does well to keep the ball and hold it up, and now goes to Connor Shanks on the edge.
He's done very well. Connor Shanks goes down. That's a free kick in another dangerous position. Connor Shanks was caught there. If he'll leave, it was by... Oh, it's taking it quickly. Wasteful. Preston, it's a bit wasteful, though. Can Preston get there? No, he can't. And either way, they've still got the ball, Park Avenue. It's worked out to the right-hand side. It will be kept in by Mayoko. Mayoko into a Dunstan. Lucas Dunstan plays one in. It's too high. Oh, that was a real opportunity. It was a bit too high from a Dunstan in the end. It was brilliant play from Mayoko. He released a Dunstan. He just has to cut the ball back to a dangerous area. He got a bit carried away. It's too high. It eludes everyone and goes out. That, for me, is probably the best chance Park Avenue have had in open play in the game. That's a great chance, and in the end, it comes to nothing. What an opportunity that is. The ball somehow hits the back of Connor Shanks as it was played, not in actual playtime. That was. It was just an off-the-ball incident, maybe. But yes, what a chance that is, though. Park Avenue, the clock keeps ticking, and they've got to take chances like that.
Well, it was really lovely play out on this right-hand side from Mayoko. Since he's moved onto the wing, he's been a little bit more effective. He did really well to keep the ball in play there, as Dunstan does well to hold off Sincere Hall's pressure on him as it goes out for a Park Avenue throw. But that ball into the box there from a Dunstan has to be of a higher quality, and he'll know that. Everybody in this stadium knows that, and guys, they almost feel like they've perhaps got away with one there. Good play from Park Avenue now as Lavelle looks to play a ball from the middle of the park over onto this right-hand side, looking for Mayoko.
Yeah, it's headed away well on that occasion, though, by goal scorer Kendall, doing his defensive work well. But Park Avenue really are playing like a team now who are losing the game 1-0 and really need the result. They're really pressing.
Jordan Preston wants it.
And it's Preston who will get it on the edge of the penalty area. Good control from him. Preston, there's an opportunity now for Mayoko. He's going to play it out towards Dunstan. It's behind him and he can't keep it in. And that one will be a throw-in. But again, Park Avenue, it is getting better, but they're still yet to test Battersby Arthur. And you've got to admit, Guiseley, defensively, they're doing well enough, Guiseley, to be fair to them.
Yeah, and you mentioned time wasting just a few minutes ago, and you feel like now it's time for Guiseley to just really kill the clock here, as we see the goal scorer today, Reece Kendall, just taking his time to get the ball back into play. There is still time here as his throwing does go no further than Eddie Mayoko, and Park Avenue will get a throw-in just in front of their dugout, and there is definitely still time here for at least one, potentially more than one, good chances for Park Avenue to produce as Lancaster switches the ball from right-hand side over to his counterpart, centre-half, Jack Whiting, and now Teddy Lavelle picks it up in a deeper area. He plays a left field switching ball looking for Iwobi.
It's Iwobi who goes for it. It's going to be well headed away, and then it's well headed away by Polo as well. That's well won by Lancaster out to O'Malley. O'Malley now, ball going to be played in. It's towards Preston. It's a very good header from Reece Kendall to clear it for a corner. And Park Avenue are starting to put the pressure on. Just over 5 minutes to go. And that was a good ball in there. Preston was coming in fairness to Kendall. He had two men around him there, Kendall. It was a good defensive header. It's a corner. And Park Avenue are just starting to put a bit more pressure on. It's Connor Shanks who is going to take the corner. And this could be danger Park Avenue have 8 players inside the 18-yard box right now. It is going to be whipped into the middle. Not a bad one. Cleared away by the goalkeeper. And then it's then further cleared by Sincere Hall. Can Park Avenue come forward again? Polo's done well to control the ball, though. And Battersby got 2 hands on that, and it was 2 effective hands. And the ball's with Kofi Moore at the other end, up against Mason O'Malley. O'Malley's done well to get a foot in there. And the ball is now going to be worked out to the number 8, Liam Tong. And the ball's been played in against was Tong on the volley. Oh, that would have been some goal. It was chipped over to him, Liam Tong. He took it first time on the volley. It goes over. That would have been some goal from Tong in the end, though. He couldn't quite keep it down.
No, lovely play actually there from Kofi Moore on that right-hand side. He managed to beat a man, cut the ball back inside. It eventually found its way to Josh Tong. Little 1-2 chip over the back line, and his volley, he caught it well. No, unfortunately for Park Avenue, it was nowhere near the goal, but he definitely connected with it. Now as Mayoko does one step over too many now, and that's the second or third time he's been caught off the ball in a dangerous area. And Guiseley have won a free kick just past the halfway line now, and they're going to look to kill the game at this point, just under 5 minutes to go of regular time. Well,
the last 3 meetings between these two teams have been draws, and that's probably the most Park Avenue can now hope for in this game. The last time Guiseley came here was back in April 2022. It was a 0-0 draw. Certainly when the 0-0 draw today, of course, but it is looking a difficult task for Park Avenue at this point, but they have been getting better as the half's gone on. And the ball's up towards Denson. He can't quite get there. Well, he does eventually get there on the floor somehow. And has done really well to actually find a teammate with as well. They're kicking the ball on the floor. Cross comes in. It's going to be a corner. And as you say, for Guiseley, we'll just look to kill the clock at this point. 3 minutes of the 90 to go. It's looking like an uphill battle for Park Avenue. We're still waiting for the first goal of the Whittaker era. So if that's going to come, it might be a big one at this stage.
Yeah, let's hope so. As we'll see a final change for Guiseley. Callan Murphy, the Irish striker, will come on. Of course, scored in the reverse fixture. Let's hope for Park Avenue that he doesn't come on and do the same here. He will replace...
Looks like he's going to replace Kofi Moore. It looks like maybe.
I think he will, yes.
Kofi Moore's going to be
had a good day.
Yeah, he's had a good game on the right-hand side.
It's not Kofi Moore, it's Sincere Hall.
Sincere Hall, the substitute, has been substituted. You only imagine that is due to an injury, perhaps, at the moment. He's only been on the field for about 15 minutes. So Sincere Hall, so he is going to go off. And, he's seen enough. Alex Walsh, maybe an injury has definitely played a part in that one. As a corner does come in for Guiseley, it's headed up in the air. It's going to be cleared away. The head was won by Murphy.
Denton was offside there, but the linesman didn't spot that.
No, and the ball's going to be whipped in as well. It's Denton who goes to head it. Oh, it's not got anything on it though, Denton. That seemed like it was a
good chance for the striker.
Tailor-made delivery, and in the end, his head to it was not convincing at all. Ball's cleared out of play in the end from Ashman for a throw in, but I've got to admit, Denton, the ball fell to him really well. It was a really good chance for a header. It wasn't convincing.
Kofi switched shirts.
Either way, it doesn't. Whoever it is who's gone off the field for Guiseley, Park Avenue need to get on with it themselves because the clock is ticking. We've got just over 90 seconds of the 90 minutes remaining, so we don't have long. As the ball is with Lavelle, who goes forward. It's going to be headed away well on that occasion by Walker, and the ball is with Guiseley.
Miles Labastide stripped off, ready to come on. Hopefully he can be the difference maker for Park Avenue here. Inject a little bit more pace in their attacks as the ball bounces around and it's played forward by O'Malley, and his ball searching for Preston will just look to run on through to Ollie Battersby in the goal of Guiseley. He takes his time picking that ball up.
Take his time, understandably so, letting the ball go all the way to the line, pretty much for picking it up. And do Park Avenue have one or two more chances in them? Well, Miles Labastide is not going to have much time at all. Next time the ball goes out of play, you imagine that will be his introduction. As again, Murphy goes to control the ball, the substitute for Guiseley. That one's cleared away though. It's going to be headed forward by Mayoko, and there's a foul, is it there, by Dunstan? No foul.
Well, Dunstan could have been off the pitch there. He's already on a yellow, and that seems slightly stupid. It's a head injury, though, so and Andy Welsh is not happy.
Well, Lucas Dunstan was sent off in the reverse fixture, so lightning could well have struck twice there if he wasn't careful. I think it might have been a bit of coming together, and the referee is certainly not going to give it. But either way, this does allow Park Avenue to make their substitute, and he's actually going to get Labastide, well, no more than about 3 or 4 minutes to make an impact. So it's a very short time. The number 17 is coming on to replace, it looks like. Mayoko. It's going to be Eddie Mayoko's coming off the field. So Mayoko's race is run for the day. And Park Avenue, there is not long to go at all in this game for Park Avenue. The clock is really ticking. The 90 minutes are about to be up, and the added time is about to be signalled. 5 added minutes at the end of the game. Will it be enough for Park Avenue to steal a draw from the game? And I say steal because I don't think many Park Avenue fans or even the players would agree. They haven't really been at their best in this game. But either way, it is Park Avenue on the ball now. It is Labastide, his first touches of the game. He's played out from left-hand side to Hay. Hay hits it. Long way out. It's going to be blocked. And this could be a chance to break forward for Guiseley, actually. It is an opportunity. It is Kofi Moore on the ball now on the right-hand side. What can he do with it? He's going to win a throw-in, is he? Yes, he is going to win a throw-in, and Guiseley undoubtedly will let the clock run down. Lewis Hall, you can't fault him for taking an optimistic shot on a moment ago. Lewis Hay, sorry. But it's very difficult from there, isn't it, to find a way through all them bodies?
Yeah, definitely. Guiseley defending with their lives really well, actually. There are plenty of purple shirts in the way of the goal, Ollie Battersby's goal. But just a few moments left, 4 minutes left of injury time. And can substitute Miles Labastide or perhaps the big man Justin Iwobi on debut make a little bit of difference here? Yet to test Ollie Battersby really in the whole game, in fact, Sam, which has been quite disappointing. We've seen a fair few shots and plenty more chances created this half, but that final product not quite working for Park Avenue. Yeah,
absolutely not quite worked out, and there's going to be a foul or an offside flag maybe. It's going to be a free kick in favour of Bradford Park Avenue. That clock keeps ticking. We've played 90 seconds of the 5 added minutes, so the clock is not Park Avenue's friend at the moment. But Tom Scott does take the free kick just outside his own penalty area. It is going to be Iwobi. It's well headed away, though he's beaten to it by Walker. Dunstan goes to flick it on. It's going to be with Labastide. His touch is poor, though. It's given away. It's Prince Ekpolo. He runs it. Is he just going to let the clock run down? He is. He's just going to. They're just happy to have the ball at the moment. They have it now with Murphy, because he's going to keep the ball in the corner flag for now. He doesn't mind Murphy at the moment. He's trying to win a corner, maybe. The ball still somehow stayed in play. I'm not quite sure how. Eventually, can Park Avenue get it back? They do, and they can try and play it forward. That's given away, so it's like Polo. Chance to see off the game. No, he doesn't. He's actually challenged well. Shot comes in. Oh, it's deflected. It goes just wide. The shot came in, I believe it was by the number 14, Lee Whelan, who had the shot. It deflected it completely wrong foot in the goalkeeper, Tom Scott. But luckily for Park Avenue, it went the right side of the post from their point of view and just wide. But that deflection was very unkind because it was a tame effort there in the end, wasn't it, from Whelan? It somehow nearly ended up in the back of the net.
Yeah, heart in mouth there, Sam. That nearly put the game to bed there. Like you mentioned, Tom Scott completely wrong-footed and just stuck in the ground. Nothing he could have done to that if it did creep in the other side of the post. But fortunately, it did go the other end. The guys there looked to just take a short corner now. It's Murphy and Denton just combining in the corner, and hopefully Park Avenue can win the ball back, and they look to have done. And the referee's blown up for a Park Avenue foul, I believe. Chance potentially. There's just 2 minutes left of the additional 5.
There is just 2 of the 5 left.
You've got to make sure the ball stopped, Scotty.
And then in the end, the referee has noticed, and he's basically said the ball was rolling, and Park Avenue just trying to bring it forward. They've got to get the ball forward one way or another. Not one of their balls forward seems to have found the head of Justin Iwobi yet. That ball goes forward towards Preston. That's well headed away. And now Polo can try and get there. He's controlled it for now. Princek Plus, very good play from Princek Polo. And he can release his man, Kofi Moore. This could be a chance. This could see off the game. It is Moore. He's got options. He goes on, has the shot. It's blocked. Surely it's going to be the finish.
Awful touch from Murphy.
Murphy has a
great
go.
save.
What a save that is. What a save from Scott, and eventually the ball is going to go out for a corner. That should have been the game there. Callum Murphy, poor touch originally, gets the ball out of his feet, has a go. That is a very good save from Scott getting low down.
Well, it was already on his right foot, and you feel like if he hits that first time, Scott, who was slightly out of position recovering from that first effort, you think Murphy would have probably beaten him and put the ball into the back of the net there. But fantastic save produced from Tom Scott to keep Park Avenue alive here. Just under a minute to go. Corner for Guiseley, and you feel like they are going to try and sap every bit of life out of this game now. Another combination of Denton and Murphy in the corner, and they've won themselves another corner, I believe, yes.
It is another corner, and again, Park Avenue, the ball is at the wrong end of the field from their point of view. They've had a couple of opportunities, Park Avenue, in the half, but ultimately the first half has really followed the pattern of the second in a lot of ways. Second half, has followed the pattern of the first, I should say. As the throw-in does go forward, it's going to be headed on, is it? No, it's not going to be headed on. It's going to be won back by Guiseley. And they've just got to get the ball forward. The ball goes out, and with 10 seconds away from the 5 being up, and the referee has already had a look at that watch. Can Park Avenue just try and get the ball forward? Well, Dudson tries to bring it forward. In fact, the referee's been consistent all night with doing that, in fairness. So he just asked Dudson to take a few steps back. Hay turns well. Can Lewis Hay bring it forward? The clock is really not on the side, and the referee has blown the full-time whistle, and it is defeat for Park Avenue on New Year's Day at the Horsfall Stadium on Derby Day against their West Yorkshire neighbours, Guiseley. Full-time score, Bradford Park Avenue 0, Guiseley 1. Goal coming after 23 minutes from Reece Kendall, a 30-yard arrow, the difference between the two teams. In the end it's just been one of them days at Park Avenue. They haven't really built anything going forward. It's just been a really tough day for Park Avenue, and Guiseley, they'll feel like it's been a good day's work for them.
Yeah, definitely. First half was all Guiseley, and then that 15-minute period after half-time where it looked like they were going to grab a second. Park Avenue did well, though, to grow more and more into the game in the second half in search for that equaliser, but unfortunately just couldn't test Ollie Battersby. I don't think he had a save to make today, and that's really disappointing. But, we're getting there, just still looking for that first win, still looking for that first point, still looking for that first goal of Danny Whittaker's reign.
Absolutely are. Well, since his third game of the reign now, 3 games, no goals, 3 defeats for Park Avenue. They sit in 21st place now. Atherton Colliers have actually winning their game, so the results haven't even gone Bradford Park Avenue's way, or Stafford Rangers is, just to add a little bit of insult to injury. As for Guiseley, they move up to 8th in the table. They are only 2 points off the playoffs. They remain 2 points off the playoff places. And in the end, as we mentioned, it's been a bit of a day to forget for Park Avenue. I don't remember Oliver Battersby even having to make a save in the games, and Park Avenue, from their point of view, hasn't quite been their day, but Guiseley, they're obviously in a huddle right now. They'll be delighted with this performance, won't they? I think Alex Welsh will be very happy, of course. Andy Welsh, my apologies. We're very happy, of course, with this day's work from his team. They've run a good run of form away from home, and they've kept that run going today. And it was a fairly convincing 1-0 as far as 1-0s go.
Well, yeah, definitely. I think Guiseley just stuck to their jobs from minute one, did really well to commit to them, just keep their shape, keep their structure. Their back line, I thought, did ever so well to just minimise the amount of chances and the amount of ball that we saw the front line of Park Avenue receiving. Just disappointing day at the office for Park Avenue. I thought defensively that structure was there for Park Avenue. The efforts on goal that did trouble perhaps Tom Scott were the goal from Reece Kendall. He hit one from 30 yards. Perhaps Tom Scott could have done a little bit better with that, but I won't say that in front of the big goalkeeper. And the other effort, of course, in the first half was Gabriel Johnson hitting the crossbar. Those two shots came from outside the box. And in terms of the back line, who, for Park Avenue, don't have the biggest centre halves, they did really, really well to contest with the front men of Guiseley. Tom Denton's a really big lad, but he did not really have a sniff other than that late chance that he didn't manage to capitalise on.
Yeah, absolutely agree. I think defensively for Park Avenue, there's a lot of positives to be taken in this game. I really do think that Park Avenue come out of this game and say, defensively, I think we did really well. You're up against a very informed striker in Gabriel Johnson and a very big striker in Tom Denton. And I think they did well to deal with those two players. But I think ultimately, defensive side was good, but attacking side of it, it just wasn't good enough today for Park Avenue. And when you're playing at home, no matter who you're against in the division, you need to have at least a couple of big chances where you go, if we scored that, it could have been different. I don't think there was any opportunities at Park Avenue, barring maybe that one with Lucas Dunstan towards the end of the game where he could have put the ball in, where you look at Park Avenue and go, that could have been a goal today. Other than that, it just felt like all the chances were long range efforts from outside the penalty area. They weren't finding the strikers at all. It just felt like one of them days at Park Avenue where you've got to kind of write it off and say, yes, against Guiseley, your local rivals, a defeat always stings against your local rivals, especially at home. But you've got to say Park Avenue, going into the game Saturday against Morpeth, they're going to need to do a lot more, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. And it's also important to credit the back line of Guiseley. We can't say that, it's down to, poor choices, poor decision-making from the front line of, Park Avenue in the green and white. I thought Guiseley did really well. They competed all day. The back line, I thought Josh Ashman had a fantastic day. Never looked troubled. Always looked strong, composed, won all these battles, whether they were in the air or on the deck, of course. And, they can be happy with that as they make the short trip back over to Guiseley. But disappointing result once more. But I'm sure that Danny Whitaker is going to keep persistent. He said that he's all in. That was one of his phrases. He's all in, and I'm sure that we're going to see a step up, in terms of attacking threat. We've seen today, on the back of the last two games where, to be fair to Park Avenue, we've shipped a lot of goals, and today I thought defensively we were a lot more solid. It's just unfortunately going forward at the other end, there wasn't quite as much in terms of attack.
Absolutely not. Well, we've got to take the positives from the game, and the defensive side is definitely more of a positive than the attacking. But either way, again, Happy New Year to everyone for 2024. And it's not, unfortunately, Happy New Year for Park Avenue with the defeat to West Yorkshire rivals Guiseley in the Northern Premier League. But again, Happy New Year to everyone. Full-time score at the Horsefall Stadium in the West Yorkshire Derby. Bradford Park Avenue 0, Guiseley 1, and we'll see you next time.
Cheers, Sam. Happy New Year.